Hello, everybody, and good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And I'm coolcatterri.
I'm DREADPOOL.
Returning Shaddai.
What's going on? All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this incredible week of Xbox craziness. Xbox socials have been on fire. They've been bad, so bad. It's been so bad that my family, who are pure casuals and do not go on Xbox socials, heard about it. That is how bad this has been. Did any of this spill over into the casuals that you know of, guys?
No, the casuals that I know of are too busy dealing with this, which is Sir Henry's
I
haunted
thought
house.
you were about to touch your nipples.
No. maybe not.
Thank God you said Sir Henry's.
That's why I call them Sir and Henry's. What a way to start a morning.
Let's take a time out here. Tell us about Sir Henry's, DREADPOOL. Go ahead.
Oh my God, it's a local haunt in mid-Florida, Central Florida, and they do what's called Love's Revenge, and this is what this shirt's based on. Is the trail that they do, and they have two of them, and they do it only for 2 nights. So last night and Friday night were the only nights that they do this particular one. Love's Revenge. You have the Hawthorne Trail, and then you have the potion number 13 this year. So they keep on changing them up, so that way everything's fresh. But they usually, what they do is they concentrate on Halloween, and then out of those 2 houses, or out of the 3 houses, they do 2 houses for certain events like Christmas and Valentine's. So we did a Valentine's date, change it up.
A haunted Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
and of course, that's all on your channel, right?
Yes. I'm actually getting some of the videos to go live as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. It is allergy season for me. So if I turn off my camera and stop talking or just snort or something, it's because of allergies. Okay, so I'm sorry. Apologies in advance. But let's check in with the iconic chat now that we're done talking about Sir Henry's and DREADPOOL's man parts. Here we go. We got, of course, Doggy Dog going, happy Super Sunday, everybody. That's right. The Super Bowl is here. Hey, Your Wicked Hot says, hey, good morning and happy Sunday. Go 49ers. The Game Complainer says, yo, thank you so much for joining us. The Game Complainers, you are the real MVP. Of course, You're Wicked Hot. You are also the real MVP. And Doggy Dog knows he is the real MVP. Let's see. Oh my. J Meon Forever says, go Lions. Oh, you're a week late, buddy.
Boo.
No, it's Super Bowl. You can wear your own team shirts now.
Yeah,
they're not in it.
Yesterday, so my pajamas are Denver Broncos pajamas. So I was walking around. So I've been wearing my Denver Broncos stuff all week. Just sad that we're not in there. Let's see. And of course, James Meon, thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Venge, I think that's how you say it. Venge?
It's VB basically. Yeah, Venge, but it's actually VB.
V what?
VB.
VB?
Yeah.
Okay. VB says, yo, hey, VB, thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And JB Zombie 89 is here. Shout out to JB Zombie 89. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Any other new faces? By the way, I love J Meon's Forever right here. He's got a nice Spartan. I feel you. I like that Spartan. Best game ever, right, Terry? Then Gina says, after in honor of Foam Stars, I'm watching this from my bath.
Oh,
well, thank you so much. That is a good honor of Foam Stars. Then Gina, we appreciate you. You're the real MVP.
Just so you guys know, I've got the new insult. Okay, Foamer.
Okay, Foamer. Oh my God, that's so funny. You're a foamer if you play Foam Stars. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. All right, let's see. And LVO joins us. Shout out to LVO. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. We appreciate it.
Elvio. It's Elvio
Elvio.
from
Like
XBI Podcasting Español with me.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And of course, Web Dave is here. Hello, Web Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Web Dave, of course, setting record numbers with thousands of viewers on his podcast. Shout out to him. Well deserved.
I know.
That was something. That was something, Web Dave. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if I can beat Web Dave, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Let's see. And let's see. It's Timothy joins us. Shout out to Timothy. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. And yeah, the Gina absolutely did. Gina nails it right here. Playing Hello last night with friends. Couple are convinced Xbox is buying out of consoles without even an announcement. Really bad for the brand. Really bad for the brand. This radio silence. Yes. Yes, it has been bad, I think. And let's see. I'm just scrolling through the chat, making sure I haven't missed anybody. Dreadpool, why don't you read this one?
The Gina says, quote unquote, not me. But the Gina says, had to play Foam Stars. Felt I was missing out. The FOMO got the better of me. I'll see myself out.
Jeez.
Wow.
And for those of you listening, FOMO is not FOMO, it's FOAMO. So
That's right.
think about that.
Oh.
FOMO.
That was it. That was a good one. Good pun. All right, but guys, it is Super Sunday. It is Super Sunday, which I think should be a national holiday, in my opinion. Who do you got for the Super Bowl, Terry, or do you don't care?
I mean, I'm not going to watch it, but I'm picking the Niners to win.
Final score?
Couldn't care less.
All right, so she wants the Niners. Okay. Dreadpool, who do you want to win?
I don't want to. Okay, this is my number 3 team out of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I worked for them at one point in time. The Chiefs.
Oh,
The Chiefs.
the Chiefs, huh?
The
Chiefs. The Master Chiefs.
The Master Chiefs.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez. All right, it's official. Dreadpool's a Swiftie.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
When you have a daughter that listens to it all the time, you kind of get suckered into it. You're like, why am I singing this song? In the meantime, I'm like, let's get some more Rob Zombie on.
That's right. When is she gonna do a cover of Rob Zombie?
Actually, we had her doing Doors, Break On Through the Other Side, and I got copyrighted for that. What else did we had? She was doing X's and O's, and this is at like 3 years old on Rock Band.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I had those videos, and they're YouTube sucks when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, but it was really cool. She's like singing Break On Through, and it's like it was really cool to see a little girl just getting into it, and she's like, kicking her leg up like she does and singing and just having a good time with Rock Band.
That's awesome. Eternal Shaddai, who do you got?
The 49ers 21-17 final.
21-17 final. I don't know if you can keep Mahomes under 20, but all right.
well, 49ers defense is pretty much no joke. So I can see that it's a defensive game.
So you're predicting they're going to choke?
Not choke, it's just being stopped. That's all.
They're going to choke.
No. Choke is what happened with the Bills. My Bills. You know what I mean? That's choking. But no.
Maybe they need to learn how to play some Foam Stars or something.
Oh. All right. Let's see. I
doubt it, doggy. I doubt it. When it comes to the Super Bowl, I think they're going to be a different defense that we've seen before.
Exactly. They're going to choke.
This better not be a blowout. I don't plan on watching the game. If I
I-
watch the game, it's simply cause. But of course, I am not going to go for the Chiefs as they are in our division, and I can't root for them. It's against the division rules, right?
Oh, single man.
Yeah,
here,
but but at least the Broncos keep them kind of close every single time they play.
That's right. That's right. So
I'm all alone here.
I can't root for them. I got to go with the 49ers. I think Brock Purdy, it would be so cool if Brock Purdy won, Mr. Irrelevant. That would be cool. And so, yeah, sorry, Crispy Bomb. It's Crispy Bomb who's a big Chiefs fan, right?
He is a huge Chiefs
Yeah,
fan.
so-
Yeah.
The thing
Sorry,
is,
Crispy. You're out. But hey, Cyber Gunther, who I think is a big 49ers guy, we're in.
see, the thing is, your chef is very stale, so he's very bland. So that's what happens.
Oh, we'll salt and pepper you guys all day. You just watch with the swiftness.
Watch with the swiftness. What the heck? All right, let's see. Oh, we got let's see. JB Zombie saying, that's awesome, Dred. What did you do for them? What did you
Oh,
do
I
the
worked for the
Chiefs?
radio station that was associated with them, and I was actually on the field in Jacksonville when they came down to play against Jacksonville. I was on the field with the parad, and the parad is the microphone inside the cone.
Mhm.
You know, you got that cone and the little microphone.
You're talking about the big one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was on the field, and unfortunately, I was on the Jacksonville side. My
Wow.
buddy that got me the job was on the Chiefs side.
Mhm.
So so we had to wear the smock and all that, and we had to just follow the ball. So anywhere the ball went, all the helmets would crunch, and that's what they wanted the audio for. So I was doing audio work out there with the parads, and when they were like talking, you kind of have to like aim it over that way and try to get their conversations. One of those things that you do sometimes. Not cheating.
Nice.
It's just if you can hear it, you can hear it.
JB Zombie says, very cool. You have a great radio voice, Dred. I could see it.
Hey,
I can't hear it.
So that means you were trying to pull one of those Patriots thing, trying to go behind the enemy lines and check what the
Yeah,
heck
I
is
feel
going
that there
on.
was some cheating going on.
Yeah.
well, the Pulse guys were doing it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, typically, you just follow wherever the ball goes, and if they just happen to be talking because the ball's there,
You mean the play?
yeah. So yeah, I got the what is it? The face for radio and the voice for
For radio.
no, I got the voice for submerged submergibles.
That's so funny. Doggy Dog over here saying Brock Purdy.
Oh.
Keep that to yourself. Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant. Everybody slept on him, and he's going to be a Super Bowl champ. Just watch. Just watch.
I think I can see that.
All
Chump?
right.
Okay.
But
see that.
off the football talk here. But Terry, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for the 49ers. Who's the chat hoping for this year?
The chat is 44% for the Niners, 33% think it's a toilet game, and 22% say the Chiefs.
You screwed up on this poll again. How do you screw up on these polls? You're supposed to put I'm here for the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Then.
I mean,
I literally just woke up, Dred.
that's literally like every single poll that's supposed to be out there. Which team and who cares? I'm here for the commercials.
That's right. Commercials. I'm watching for the Taylor Swift zoom-ins. Close-ups.
We're going to be brainwashed by that thing.
Has anybody done any Madden predictions?
Yeah, Madden predicted the Chiefs.
Really?
See? Even the great Madden knows
Yeah.
from
If the
beyond.
Chief wins, they're going to say it's a setup.
The
And they're gonna
Madden
come-
prediction has been in the last 6 games is 1 correct prediction, 5
Yeah.
incorrect predictions.
Yeah.
And the one it did get right was the last time the 49ers and the Chiefs played. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, here we go. So let's start off first with some backtracks and maybe some things that never got any traction. So Toys for Bob was, you know what? No, let's do it this way. Here we go. So Toys for Bob. It was announced that they were closing Toys for Bob's offices following the layoff of 86 people from the team, and it's unclear what the status of this studio did. Shinobi said this, and of course, a lot of people freaked out thinking that it was a closure of the studio. Some people went ahead and said it. A lot of people looked it up, and everybody said, no, never mind. They're not closing the studio. Everybody's just working from home. But that is kind of the reason I bring that up is because that is the kind of week we've been having here, dealing with all these Xbox things. Has been this fast and furious media that is quick to assume or not ready to get all the information. They just gotta report. And so I just use Toys for Bob as an example of this fast and furious media. Do you think the media, the gaming media, needs to slow down a little bit and not be worried about being the first?
I think it's
Terri.
more. I think it. Well, I mean, yeah, they should, but I mean, this isn't just a gaming media problem. This is just a plague on people today that use social media a lot. Everyone's just reactionary. No one looks into anything. No one verifies anything. They see something, they run with it. They react. They throw, their see fit on something that may not even
Let's
be
go
true.
live.
Like everyone, it's like everybody just wants to react. They want to be the first to react and have an opinion. And then, it doesn't age well when it comes out that stuff wasn't true. And it's like, see, you guys were just a doofus and you wasted all that effort on nothing. So, it's like, do your research.
Yeah. Dude,
It's like literally you have, we have our smartphones, right? We have access to the internet. You have so much information right in front of you, but no one knows how to look up anything factual. Like look stuff up, do research.
Yeah.
You no longer have to go to a library and get a book. You can literally instantly find things. But no one does it.
I think some of these website writers, I think they need a new hobby. I suggest journalism. Just saying.
Journalism would be great.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for a long time. We don't have journalists anymore. We just have people who like to just make opinion pieces.
Yeah. Shaddai, I don't know if you heard about this. I mean, obviously you
I
did.
have.
You were in our chat. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think this was? And it only lasted 24 hours, but some people were saying Toys for Bob shut down. Say Shinobi, and then Shinobi had to go in there. I never said they shut down. I just said they closed their offices. Like poor Shinobi was getting some heat on it too, for being misrepresented. What do you think?
Isn't that what Ninja Theory did when Microsoft bought them? That they were like, we just moved from one building to the next for something bigger.
Yeah.
So it's the same, it's the same thing. But at the same time, a lot of people will go like, oh, but that's part of the 1900 Activision layoff. So it's a mess. So now it's hard to say that is it real or not real, just for what we usually say clickbaits. So it's like what you said, Axel, at the beginning, like you just want to get whoever's going to get the news first. So you want to get those clickbaits,
clicks. That's right. It's all about clicks,
not
accuracy. Clicks.
Yeah, I don't know how. Well, for me, I don't know how that works with the clicks. I'm like, well, I click and then you go
and then you get rickrolled because that's all Shaddai clicks on.
No, but that's the thing. Like Terri, you just say go do your research, but then when you do your research, you get like 5, 6, 7 people with the same thing. So now it's like, is it actually true or not true? We're just, depending on the person. I'm a type of person.
That's why I always say, wait for an official statement. Stop looking at a whole bunch of people who are fake journalists that are giving opinion pieces and their feelings. You wait till the official companies come out and they say something.
But that's the problem, because some companies, I'd rather say Microsoft is the only one that does not say very quick about no, this is fake. Even though they did say it not too long ago, I forgot who it was. Like, do not go for the clickbait. This clickbaits. I'm getting tired that we have to come out and explain ourselves that this is not true. It's just a closure. They move to another place. But that's the problem. The more people they start yelling and saying a lot of things and putting out articles, it's like Microsoft have to jump.
The companies aren't going to try to snuff out every fire. All right, they don't have
Mhm.
time for that nonsense. They got business deals to make. They can't be worrying about what some guy on Twitter's crying about.
But that's the thing.
But
That person,
and at the same time, as long as they're crying, guess what? That means they're trending. So you know
See,
what
but
I mean?
that-
And they sure were. They sure were. I saw my trending lines. I wish I would have taken some pictures.
You know, and trending is a good thing.
no, but see, but that's the thing. There are some people. I'm not saying all, but some people they do have connections, and it's very hard to think if that person whatever wrote is true or not. It's very hard to.
The funny thing is, some people that have connections really don't have connections. They're just BSing out that, no.
So
Clout
this
chasers.
is just me. So Nate, the hate is
I
a
can predict a lot
liar.
of them. I could predict the same thing that they have, and I have predicted by watching the trend, watching what's going on, and it looks like I'm an influencer. I just predicted it. I don't know anybody in there. I mean, I do know people, but again,
See?
even if they told me, I'm not going to tell you. So a lot of it, again, even if I know, you don't know what I actually know and what I'm actually predicting. You know, so again, this is why it's relevant for people that are in these positions of power, right? They're BS guys, basically. They're nobodies, right? We might be somebody in the community, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, to the company, we're nobody, right? We have people that are let's say Dealer, Web Dave, Boom, right? We have thousands of people watching these guys, right? Thousands. Out of how many are in the US alone, let alone worldwide, out of the billions and trillions of people that we have here, right? That's just not even a 1% market. So think about that. You know, I'm not taking anything away from any of these guys. These guys have earned their place, getting the thousands plus and so forth, right? They've earned that. But again, you can't be sitting there and giving sheepish Nick any credit for predicting this and that. I've done the same things. Do I get credit? No. And I don't care to. But again, this is where people need to be responsible with what they say. Like Toys with Bob, right? It was the studio is shutting down. No, read what it said, right? People went with what was reported and immediately heated reaction. Here's your hot take on something you didn't even read. You just read the title. You just read the title of the article. Did you really sit down and read the article? No. It's immediate gut reaction. Here we are. This is BS. I can't believe they're doing this. And again, people need to be responsible with what they say. As small as we are, or as big as we are in the community, you're still responsible on what you say. Misleading people like this is wrong, right? Just so you can get your clout on, I'm sorry. No, I don't care about that. That's why I call people out like this. I generally don't want to name names unless I'm giving them credit for good stuff. When it comes to the bad stuff, I don't like to credit people for stuff like that to get their attention, like the Destiny guy, right? That guy there, come back with a rename, if you guys know what I'm hinting at.
Yeah.
Again, and he's still a toxic person. And these guys just keep on talking crap. You know what I mean? And people are giving them this platform. And it's like, again, stop giving these guys a platform. There's a reason why Microsoft is not answering. There's a reason why Xbox is not answering. They can't answer every little rumor. You know?
Oh my gosh, people are always spreading rumors about Xbox. That's a full-time job.
Exactly. I mean,
but it's also a tactic. Also, it's a tactic.
Yeah, but even us joking on something, right? Someone takes it and goes, "Oh my God, did you hear what they said?" Oh, and all of a sudden
I would love for the day to get slothed, even if it was incorrected. I would love to get Idle Sloth. Just saying, shout out to Idle Sloth. You know, he does do a really good job of getting all this news in one area.
But it's like I said with the official statements. Usually, if a studio is officially closing, they'll make a statement saying that, we're shutting down our doors. It's been great. Thanks for the memories. They always have that statement.
Yeah, these publicly owned companies usually do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
Because
hello,
it affects
people.
their shares. It affects their shares. So they have to have a reason behind it to justify so their shares don't start tanking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
And
Common sense.
they already lost the people. So why not just consolidate? Why pay money for an office that you're not using?
Yeah.
This whole thing of, the layoffs, that, they was part of the Activision Blizzard layoffs. I did notice that they didn't have their annual, and I do mean annual, 1,000 people layoff this year at Activision Blizzard. They must have rolled it over to Microsoft. So just throwing that out there, that every year around Thanksgiving time, ABK lays off 1,000 people. They just do. And they did it this year.
And ABK even said that they had people slated to be released.
Yep.
So it was
that
already
FTC,
planned.
yep.
Xbox already had people on their side slated to be released too. So again, it's just now it's under one company, under one brand, even though there's many brands, and it looks bad on the master parent brand. You know what I mean? The parent company. It always looks bad on the parent company. It doesn't matter what happened before, what was slated, and that's what happened.
All right. Yeah. So that's what we think about these medias just running around, burning everything in their wake. I don't know if you guys saw my my Twitter take where Nate the Hate backtracked, and I was like, Nate the Hate after lighting Xbox Twitter on fire, he's like, my bad. That's literally what it was.
Oops, my bad.
that ain't right.
That's right.
My bad.
That ain't right.
Did I say that?
Actions speaks louder than words.
That's right. Moving the goalposts. Let's see. Six Slayer says, focused on work, you guys running in the background. Hey, thank you so much for all of you lurking in the background. We appreciate each and every one of you. You are the real MVPs. Let's see. Jess Corden said he's taken off from social media right before the Xbox news next week. He's not the only one. I noticed that Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, who has tweeted every day, has stopped tweeting. Xbox social media teams like Stein and Aaron Greenberg, all of them have not tweeted anything in a few days.
NDAs.
Yeah. So they have basically turned off their social media team to stop engaging with these things. So they are, I'm not going to say that they're damage controlling out on Xbox. I think they're tired. They're exhausted of the.
They're also not feeding the fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not stoking
that's
the
what
fire.
I think.
They're not trying to put it out.
They're waiting for the fire to stoke out on its own. So.
Yeah. So, which is really, really bad for us who do an Xbox centric podcast, because let me tell you, it is easy to get Xbox topics every week because Xbox is so active on social media. If going forward they are less active, wow, it's going to be the Xbox rumor shows and, hey guys, let me tell you about how my controller broke this week. Something akin to that. So let's hope that this is not permanent. So yeah. Shout out to Stephen Avery. Thank you so much for bringing that up. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Nixie says, shout out to Nixie. Thank you so much. You are the real MVP. She says, Terry, but these companies worry about the crying on Twitter. That's why they all have PR/social media teams. Yeah, Terry.
No, they have those teams so they can spread the news about their company to, for marketing, not to worry about crybabies.
There you go. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says, hello, everyone. I've been saying for some time this week, relax, wait until next week to hear from the right horse's mouth. Still, I know it's not going to be as bad as people are talking. Oh, well, we'll get into that. Shout out to Back from the Dead. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And of course, Back from the Dead was on Breaking Bread with Dread recently, so be sure to catch that one. He says, investigative journalism, I get why it's non-existent in the gaming community. Drama sells better than truth. You got to let it starve and die if you want to see any measurable change. Yeah. people are getting the reputations, a lot of people are backtracking. A lot of them are trying to be super clear about what they post in 140 characters or less. So it is something this week. This week has been interesting. Remake Station 5 says, can't wait to play Halo and Starfield on my PS5. I'm getting tired of remakes. Yeah, that's right. PlayStation was like, Xbox, come on, man. We got no games. We got no games for this year. We need your games.
I'm still banking on that.
Out. You remember how you saved Apple? Save PlayStation.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on that God of War 2018 remake.
Oh man,
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
That's right. Let's see. All right. So Happy Cloud Gamer puts his stance out there. He says, "But I don't care about fanboy wars. So what I think most people upset if Xbox was going third party. As long as I can play my games, I am good." Yeah. Stephen Avery says, "I only believe positive Xbox rumors." And Remakes Station says, "Phil is my best friend. He told me."
That's funny.
Oh my goodness, that's right. And it's no surprise that the future of gaming is in the cloud, phones, and PCs. Me and Dreadpool talked about this earlier in the week. We have been going back and forth, me and Dreadpool, all week long. So it's going to get a little heated as we are we're on the same coin, but we're on opposite sides here.
For the cloud phones and PCs?
Just in general, the whole thing. You'll see.
You're not the only one with Elvio. Woo, me too.
When I read this quote in Xbox era, I feel like they are premier and the upper crust, the ultimate tier of gaming news and factual connections, and Tin Dog, ultimate friend of all Xbox brethren. Some people are very well into that Xbox universe. Let's see.
Very passionate.
So Happy Cloud Gamer says, "Why bother with a console when you can enjoy flawless gameplay on xCloud? As someone who loves their Series X, I can attest to xCloud where it is the real fun is at. You need 15 megabytes for xCloud to work. I know the average speed across the US is 35 megabytes per second. Most of those are in big cities, of course, where they got access to fiber and stuff like that. But, the rural areas, the people that can play without throwing everything through the cloud, they're not even hitting 15. They're at 10.
Hey, I was playing
Starlink is fixing some of that, but not. It's expensive. So
yeah, I was playing Jusant in Hawaii.
Mhm.
So think about that.
Yeah,
No
and I
connection
got
to
to
the
tell you right now,
mainland.
as a guy that enjoys his Halo, enjoys his Gears, enjoys driving fast on Forza, xCloud is just it's laggy.
Yeah,
And
Axel could tell you that when he went to Mexico.
It's still enough laggy to make me lose.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing competitive, it is on the laggy side. But if you're just chugging along playing a single player game, it's not that bad. It's you can barely tell. And on top of that, when it first came out in the more faster metropolitan areas, you could play Halo and you could still dominate.
Mhm.
So it just depends on where you're at and what games you're playing on your
And if you have
experience.
fiber or not.
Yeah.
I don't like the fiber. It goes right through you. I mean,
Really, the fiber regulates the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
that gaming go right through you.
Yes. Let's see.
Well, Axel, you had that experience when you went to Mexico that you had to look for one of those metal hangers just to get a signal.
Happy Cloud Gaming is not wrong here. Where mobile gaming is where it's at. Nobody in my huge, I have 100 cousins, and all of my cousins have kids. None of them had a console. They all played on their mobile phones. Consoles is not a thing in Latin America. I don't come from a rich family. I don't come from a poor family. We're a very average family in Latin America. And we didn't have consoles. Everybody was just playing on their phones. Phones is where it's at. Mobile is the future. This young generation doesn't care for consoles unless they see their parents enjoying consoles. Then they're going to get consoles, right? But otherwise, they're not asking for consoles for Christmas, most of them. Some of them, but not all of them. Some of them are getting phones.
But at the same time, mobile is not the best experience, especially when you say Latin America, when you live in a full of trees and in a dense area. That signal sucks.
I don't know.
It
They
really
were all
sucks.
playing games straight off their phone. They were all playing GTA 3 at the time. This was a few years ago.
Mm.
They were all playing GTA 3 on their phone because, it had been ported over. They weren't playing Fortnite as the connection wasn't good enough for Fortnite and stuff. So games that were downloaded natively on their phone is what they were playing, and they were all playing it together. It was
But
interesting.
you were in town, city. Where
It was
were
a city.
See, I live in the mountain area, so the trees
It's
are
a desert
very
city
dense.
too, so there are no mountains to block the signal.
It's
No,
not
for
just a
us,
mobile. That's not just a mobile problem, though. Okay, you got to think about a lot of the U.S. is rural, and a lot of people can't even get decent internet to even play a console or PC. Even okay, that's why satellite internet's a thing. Okay, and it sucks. It's horrible internet, and they overcharge you for it. Okay, but I had to have it a few times because I lived out in the desert, and I lived in other far out in the woods, kind of
Cornfields.
way out in the backwoods of Wisconsin, where you literally you don't get connection for nothing.
Okay.
She's missing out at sea.
It's-
She's missing that one.
You see, and that's the thing. Infrastructure is key.
Mm-hmm. So it's not just a mobile thing.
It's not just the user end; it's the infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
to get to the
Right.
user end. I mean, even here in Central Florida, there are sections that I lose mobile connection. I am dead in the water, and we're talking about today's age in Florida. Like you go from one coast to the other, it's 4 hour, like a 3 hour, 4 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
So
Gulf Coast.
again, in the middle of Florida, where
Oh.
there's bigger cities, and you still lose connection because
What?
we still have dead zones.
Huh.
Yeah, agreed.
Interesting.
Right here in the corner of my
Interesting.
neighborhood, I walk to that corner, I get nothing. All right, let's see. That's the
Best part is I
danger
look
corner.
at a tower.
Stranger danger
There's a
corner.
tower right there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why am I dead?
Are you sure that's a signal tower?
Town I used to
It's
live
not
in
the tower
back in
from us.
California, the entire town had no cell service. You would literally see people drive 3 miles up the road to this one intersection and park their car and use their phone because that was the closest spot where the phone would work.
Wow.
Yeah, and let's not forget, guys, Resident Evil 4 is running on an iPhone natively. And my Samsung S24 can do ray tracing. I mean, the console is gonna move along, but we're gonna get talking about that here in a second. Let me catch up with the chat here, guys. Nixie says, if they're less active, hopefully we see more Xbox shows talk about games and what they play. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. Let's see. Any rumor about Sony media ducks out and refuses to report it? A whisper in the bathroom stall about Xbox, immediate articles everywhere as they know people will click and read. Yeah. Absolutely. The real question is, will we get the Last of Us 3 remake before the Last of Us 3?
Oh,
Brachu.
burn.
Shots fired. Shout out to Lost Boomer. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, just playing games, whatever platform, have fun, not war. DE joins us. He says, get your ham license. Radio doesn't help with gaming, though. There you go. And I think we are caught up finally. All right. So let's get to the real fires. So last week, I believe, Nate the Hate, we talked about it briefly on the show. Nate the Hate said that Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush was coming to PS5, and first it was Nintendo Switch, then it was coming to PS5, and we went at it on this show. I am team no way, don't do it. It's bad for the brand. I believe I'm by myself in that stance. Eternal Shaddai, you weren't here last week, so we'll get your stance here first once we get started here, as I like to hear it. But later on, Xbox Era posted on, exclusive Microsoft plans Starfield to release for PlayStation 5. A change in strategy is upon us. Nate the Hate collaborated this story, saying this report is accurate. Now, remember, all this started with Nate the Hate, right? So Nate the Hate collaborating was one thing. And he said, this report is accurate. Starfield will land on PlayStation. I've heard similar, but opted to wait on reporting this information until the PS5 release timeline was finalized. As the report states, the PS5 release will come after the arrival of the expansion DLC. on Xbox. And then, guys, let me pull it up. I didn't have it fully ready. It's hard to run a long show with this, but let me see. I believe it was Tom Warren who said, if I saved it, did Tom Warren delete it? He might have deleted it, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's no longer in my bookmarks. So Tom Warren must have deleted it. But Tom Warren also said that he's heard this as well. So there you go. And then Twitter got set on fire after this because, the quotes of Phil Spencer got thrown out. Or like, oh, Bethesda was about getting great exclusives for the gamer where Game Pass exists. People are saying that, yeah, it's real. No, it's fake. La, 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 la. Twitter got lit on fire. If we were here, man, it was dog eat dog. Everybody was turning on each other, because of this. As I said, like me and my panel here, we'll find out Shaddai in a minute. We'll find out if, some people are for it, some people are against it. Like, no, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. It's been bad. It's been bad for the community as a whole. And then Phil, it got so bad, and people were calling out Phil. Phil needs to say something. Phil or Sarah Bond, blah, blah, blah. And Phil said, you know what? This is an announcement planned for later in the month. We'll talk about it next week. And that was it. And everybody's like, oh, that's not good enough. I mean, it has been chaotic. Let's hit the week of chaos. And then around Thursday, I believe, Nate the Hate backtracked. He says, over the course of the week, I've checked the info mentioned below, and the information suggesting Starfield was PS5 bound is false. I will not delete the tweet. I'll own the mistake. A previous report from January discussing Microsoft bringing games multiplat remains accurate. And then, guys, let me see. Sorry. And then, of course, I made a tweet at this point. Not that I want to get into it, but just because, I have an opinion. And I'm going to share it. It says, Nate the Hate after setting Twitter on fire. My bad. So, but it has opened up the conversation of now people are speculating that Xbox is going to go third party to a large. Some people are speculated that Xbox will go full third party. Some people are speculating that Xbox is only going to do AA games. Some people are speculating that all AA games and multiplayer games are going to go multi-plat. And onto their direct competitor and all these things. So, first off, Shaddai, let's get your opinion on this. What do you think? Are you team play the games you want wherever you want? Does it matter if they put it on PlayStation? Or are you team on it devalues the brand, keep it on Xbox? Take it away, Shaddai.
Okay. Before I say anything, I will send you something. This is where it started. It shouldn't be any surprise about this. We already knew about it before people start saying, "Oh, it's going to PlayStation." I just sent it to you. This is where it all started. Actually, I sent it to you on the Twitter. Anyway,
I'm seeing it. I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
Yep. See, this is where it started. And like I said, it shouldn't be any surprise that they're trying to say that, see, remember, that's where everything started. And that was on the FTC when they bought Cinemax, that Microsoft bought Cinemax because of Starfield. And that they took out the exclusivity for PlayStation because if Sony would have put it exclusive, supposedly Xbox was going to be done. That was how it started. I have a feeling that it will not go to PlayStation 5 as much as they're trying to say. A lot of people will say, oh, but this person said, here we go with the he said, she said. Nothing has been confirmed. But Would it go? Is it okay for go to PlayStation 5? No. Anything that is single player should stay exclusive. That's my thing.
Preach, Shaddai, preach.
I'm not gonna go deep. The only thing that I can say is anything that is Starfield, anything that is first player should stay into the Xbox. As much as people would like to say nobody cares about exclusive, yes, they are. I'm one of those. There's a reason for it, but it shouldn't be no surprise for anybody about this. Same thing with the Hi-Fi Rush that we heard about. If it's true, well, I think that comes with the same contract. Maybe before they bought them, there are stipulations there. Remember, for every contract, there is a possibility that said, remember this game, let's say Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, just for the heck of it, Redfall. Imagine if those games were supposed to be multi-plats, but before Microsoft bought them, that's when they say, nope, that's going to exclusive. I don't know. Is it gonna go to PlayStation 5? I don't know. We just gotta. This is more of a wait and see. But I'd rather them to stay on the platform. If you want people to come to your platform, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
I said this in Spanish. I'm gonna say in English too on the podcast in Spanish. Is if PlayStation is very popular, because the first thing that you will hear is like, why you want a PlayStation is because of the exclusivity. Why not Xbox do the same thing? I don't know what's the problem with that. Each console have their own exclusivities, but no, I think that's one of those that they literally said that they're not gonna go for any platforms. What do you guys think?
Well, we'll get into that. Sorry, guys, I forgot. I had a poll on the previous topic, leaks. Terry.
All right. After this week, do you trust leaks from journalists? 66%. I never trusted leaks. 33%. No. This week has been chaos. And 0% said yes.
Okay. So everybody is accepting though that he said a change in strategy, so change is coming. How extreme that change is, it can be. It's really what's bothering people. Now, me personally, I'm against this whole idea that Xbox needs to be on Nintendo Switch and on PlayStation to recoup their money. First off, on Nintendo, if your name is not Nintendo, you're not going to sell very much, just flat out. You're not going to sell 5 million copies. You may not even sell 3 million copies, no matter what the game is.
The question is, did they already sell well? That's the first question. I think it didn't. See what I mean? What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? Thank you.
Yeah. You're not going to sell well on Nintendo. I mean, if your name is not Nintendo, you're not selling well on Nintendo. That's just the way Nintendo people are.
No, and not only that, it overshadows the other games that Nintendo have. Like, let's say Super Mario Wonders. It will overshadow, let's say, Ori, just for
yeah.
No,
it's not happening.
No, go ahead, Axel.
It's not happening. On PlayStation, I mean, PlayStation can't even break the 10% mark on their own console. They can't with their multi-million, $100 million exclusives. And it's not as many consoles as you might think. Like, PlayStation sold 50 million consoles, including VR, including PS Portal asterisks.
Yeah.
So in truth, there might be only 450 million. I don't know the real numbers. PlayStation is not going to give it out because it'll look weaker than they really are. And so you're not going to sell that much on PlayStation. So why are you doing this? Why is the rumor that, hey, these games are coming over to them? For what? For what? If Game Pass is not coming with it, what for? Is my opinion, right? It's
Agreed.
Not going to be enough money to in my opinion, to even do the porting work. But that's my thought. I am team, why do it? Because it makes absolutely no sense to me. You devalue your brand. You devalue your brand. I'm not moving goalpost. I was like this last week. I was like this last week, and especially not your AAA titles.
You were like this last week too.
I was not moving goalpost. And I've always said, if Game Pass came over and they needed a Game Pass subscription to access these games, sure, why not? Right? But they have their own subscription service to worry about over on PlayStation. They're not going to give Xbox any money. Same thing with Nintendo. That's just what it is. So, yeah. All right. So let's go to Terri. Terri, how unexclusive is appropriate for you?
Like I've said it a million times, I don't give a flip about exclusivity, but it has its place. I mean, I don't know. I feel. I mean, there are certain franchises that are. I feel that if they did stop being exclusive to Xbox, that would really hurt the brand. Like crappy Halo, for example, or. So like
blasphemy.
Terri, you want to start?
I'm just saying, I mean, as much as I hate Halo, people love it, and if Halo was to go multi-plat, that would create a huge rift. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just, I don't know.
I got.
I come at it from someone, who's attempting to make a game, and I want as many people as I can to play it. And you can't do that if you limit yourself to only a set consumer base. So for me, exclusives do the opposite of what a game dev wants. Game devs pick it because they get that fat check in the beginning, so they know they're set. It's safe. Versus taking the risk of it going multi-plat and everybody hates your game. At least if you have the exclusivity deal, you get a fat check, and if people hate your game, at least you still have made that money up front. So I don't know. Honestly, if Starfield ended up on PlayStation 5, like 5-10 years from now, who cares? I feel like at that point, everyone that wanted to play it on Xbox would have. So who gives a flip? You guys will probably be playing Starfield 2 or 3 by that point. So who cares?
No, Bethesda. We will not be playing Starfield 2 or 3. That'd be 10 years. That'd be the PS7.
So like, I don't know. I feel like the stuff that Phil Spencer had said about exclusivity, even if Starfield did go on PlayStation down the road, it would still be true because it was exclusive when it launched. And, even if it's just timed exclusivity, it's still exclusivity.
No, I hate that term, timed exclusive.
Yeah, me too.
It's still exclusivity. Nobody else can play it anywhere else.
Nothing to me.
No one else can play it anywhere else at the time. And at the time, people that want to play it are impulsive. They're going to play it when it launches. They're not going to wait.
Well, let's get into that. Your famous company here, Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, a multi-plat company.
They'll launch a game. They'll get all that revenue up front from the day one buyers. And then in like 2 months, they'll discount it 30% because everybody who was going to buy the game already bought it immediately.
Yeah.
So this timed exclusive thing, like, Xbox first and then PlayStation.
But they get ridiculed for doing that. But they get ridiculed for doing that.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I totally love those sales. I'm just saying, please don't stop. But I'm just trying to make it as a point that if people want to play the game, they're going to play the game where it comes, right? If it's really a game, like I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII guy. I pre-ordered my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the competing platform on PlayStation. Why? Because it's not coming anywhere else for 3 months. And I'm not going to wait 3 months. I want to play it now, right? But like, something like, what else do they have that's exclusive? I don't know. Spider-Man. I don't care. I'll play Spider-Man when it drops down to $20. I'm not that guy. My point being is that people who are excited for the game, who are very hyped for whatever that content is, will play that content where it is, and they'll buy the equipment needed for that content. Now, fortunately, with Xbox, you don't need to buy very much. You either A, already have it, or B, you can play it on the cloud, or C, it's on your PC, the biggest gaming market of all.
Look, if we keep going in on the route that Xbox is going, where they don't want to be seen as a console brand, they want to, be seen as just like an all-encompassing brand that's everywhere. I mean, there will be no such thing as exclusives, like a console exclusive. It'll be, maybe they can still claim brand exclusive, if you have the Xbox ecosystem somewhere on your TV or on another platform, you can still get access to it with a subscription. Fine, but then if you're playing, let's say in the future, I don't know, let's say 10 years from now, they finally get it to where PlayStation has Game Pass app on there, and they go more of a publisher route with offering all their stuff everywhere instead of a console route.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would be playing Starfield 10, all right, on PlayStation 20, all right, and it would still be exclusive to Xbox because it's within their ecosystem.
Is PlayStation their ecosystem? Because, they don't get that revenue from the store. They get that 30% low margin, that 70% high margin, quote unquote, right? Whereas on the Xbox store, they get 100% high margin,
Yes, but if they're offering their...
Don't discount the fact that owning a platform is very important to revenue.
Yes, but if they're putting it on, let's say the PlayStation, like say 10, 20 years from now, because who knows how long it'll take before it happens, if it does.
And I'll still be gaming.
Even if they do put it on there,
robotic Xbox.
PlayStation is going to charge them for having that on their system. They're going to want some sort of cut because they're offering them their what's the
30%.
word? They're kind of like how Apple does their crap. They charge everybody to put their stuff on their product, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like they would do the
charged and then 30%.
So they would charge them to put it on there. So so PlayStation would still get their cut.
Isn't it?
And don't forget, they admitted in the FTC trial that they're using that money to basically money hat games away from Xbox.
Okay, because I feel like we have to get away from the whole concept of console exclusive because we've already started moving away from that because now we have console and PC exclusive. So then the next step is just going to be ecosystem exclusive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like but Xbox won't have an ecosystem if they have no storefront. Is my point. That's what
Game Pass is their storefront.
Third party means.
I don't know. The way I see Windows and Xbox, they're the same. They're under Microsoft, so it's still considered exclusive.
Game Pass is their storefront. They can put that anywhere.
I go to Wikipedia and it will say Windows under Microsoft, so I still consider it more of an exclusive because it's under them.
When you go on your phone and you do cloud, you're still using. No matter how you could have, I don't know if Sony makes phones, but say Sony makes a stupid phone. All right, you can still play the Xbox Cloud on it.
But under permission of Sony.
Yeah, under the
if you have a Sony PC.
Apple, how they're doing.
If you have a Sony PC.
I don't know if you keep up with Apple, but we saw how they're doing their storefront. They are taxing it.
Yeah, remember that Epic versus Apple, they wanted it to review every game from Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But I got a question for Terri.
He brings up a good point here. Exclusive price and hardware has never helped Xbox brand. PlayStation wins every time. Maybe Xbox is tired of trying rather than make more revenue. And if that's true, they just need to come out. Hey, we're not going to be in this space anymore. It's too dominated by the competition. We're not going to put money into it. I saw Sega bow out of this. We saw Google bow out of this. I saw Atari bow out of this. Mm-hmm. So if it's not going to be their zone anymore, they need to come out and say it. Not this little, we're going to do it very slowly to ease the pain. We're not going to rip that Band-Aid off. We're just going to, breathe. There you go. It didn't hurt. Let me tap on it, blow on it a little bit. No, rip that Band-Aid off if that's really the plan, is what I'm saying. And the reason, as Phil said, they lost the generation that mattered the most, the digital one on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4. And the reason is they didn't have must-have games. I'm sorry, they didn't.
Yep. Agreed.
They zigged when they should have zagged.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Agreed.
they went TV. They went entertainment instead of games, and look what happened.
Yep.
And now, when they're finally getting some studios and they can finally start cranking out games after games after games after games, they're like, you know what? Instead of putting this into our brand, let's put it into other people's brand. I don't know what the hell they're thinking out there.
Mhm.
They finally have it. They're finally there. And yeah, it took $100 billion of investment. What is it? $70 billion for Activision Blizzard. $30 billion for, was it $30 billion or $40 billion for Bethesda?
No, I think it was 7 point something for
$7
Bethesda.
billion for Bethesda, and however many more they spent on the other smaller studios. Let's just pretend it took $100 billion of
Mhm.
investment. But you know, as we said when Google got out, Google saw that how much money it takes to get in to make a dent in this industry, and they weren't willing to pay. They weren't willing to pay to play. I'm sorry, this industry, the gaming industry is pay to win for competitors. I'm sorry, and you know,
I agree.
it is what it is.
But I have a
So-
question for Terry though.
Okay,
Terry, you have
moving back to Terry.
no, because I'm like, okay, Terry, you have a BMW, right?
Yes.
Okay, is that your expensive one or the cheapest one version?
What?
No,
Which
car
engine do you
model.
have in your BMW?
You mean for like what, like model version of it?
Yeah,
is
the
it?
model.
It's like mid tier because
Okay.
like the M model is the expensive version of a BMW, and I don't have an M model.
Okay, so if you want to compare to your mid to the expensive one, is there a change in between those cars? Or is it
Slight. It's literally the going. So I have a 2.5 engine. The M model has a 3.2, I think. So you get you get maybe like 50 more horsepower. Like who gives a flip?
So
Oh, and they changed the grill on it so that, or not the grill, but like the side, the like the
Emblem.
side trim, like the
Okay.
fender like stuff. Like it's a different design.
Okay.
That's it. Just
The
that way they
reason-
can differentiate. So you're blowing a lot of money for a lot of nothing.
okay.
Because you can literally can just do if you were mechanically inclined, there's alterations you can make to your car to get the same result for less. But people want to, people will pay for the other thing for convenience
See what I
and
mean?
bragging rights.
The reason why I use that as an example, even in cars, there's always some type of bump on it. Let's put it, some type of something exclusive or anything in any car compared to, let's say, BMW to a Lexus or anything like that. So the thing is, exclusivity, I'm talking about as in whole. I don't care if it's parts or not, is still important. Because like you say, yeah, it's a 15 more horsepower, or maybe have this little feature. There's always this little thing that pretty much will get people's attention, and they will go for the expensive one.
Most of it's bragging rights, though. I mean, if you look at like the current
Yes, exactly.
If you look at the current 3
Well, that's
series
what I'm
that are
saying.
offered by BMW, the highest one is $100,000 more. And literally, it is kind of crappier than the lower version. The lower version has more creature comforts, whereas the more expensive one is more geared towards the track goer. So you don't want that because it adds weight. So you're going to take out the creature comforts and you're going to have the most plain Jane plastic piece of crap car you can have. But guess what? You're paying $100,000 more.
But you know that you know more cars than I do. The only thing that I know is bicycles. But
Bicycles.
that's the only thing that I could change. But you know really well that there's got to be, BMW has some type of exclusive part that nobody else has.
I mean, they're gonna have proprietary stuff, but I wouldn't even say nobody else has it. Like everybody has it. Like the thing when it comes to cars, most of the stuff that's on a car, the car company doesn't make themselves. They get it from someone else.
But
So
see what I
when
mean?
and then they just upcharge if you buy it from them. Okay, so even like if you for example, there are parts that are made that are sold to both Ford and sold to I think it's Porsche. So you get the exact same part, but if you're getting it for your Ford, it'll be like a $30 part. But then if you get the exact same part that's also on a Porsche,
Mhm.
they're going to charge you $3,000 for that exact same part because you're just paying the upcharge for Porsche. But it's the exact same part that's on a Ford.
But
And even the Porsche one will have the Ford logo imprinted on the part.
just in case so people
was
doesn't
Ferrari.
get
So-
so
so-
people
so-
doesn't get confused. This is we're talking about exclusivity here
Thought it
because
was
I was gonna
Ferrari.
say I'm sorry.
I thought it was Ferrari that had the Ford part.
No, I'm talking. It's a headlight. I think it was
Yeah.
Porsche.
Okay, I thought it was Ferrari. But either way,
Yeah,
same difference.
I could have the wrong car, but it's it's the idea that a lot of these companies, they mix and match stuff, just like Honda. People want to be like, I have to buy a Honda part. I have to buy the Honda part. Honda doesn't make those parts.
Just
But they have something exclusivity. Like
Another company's making those parts, and then if you buy them from the Honda dealer, then they're just upcharging it. That's all they're doing. So there is no exclusivity. People think it's like, okay, this is a Honda exclusive part, but it's not. It's all a
because I know I heard somebody
farce.
told me. So this is I remember this. I can't remember for what car, and this person told me this sensor cannot be found anywhere else. Ford or Nissan, whatever. It gotta be for this this company. I'm gonna use BMW. It was some other car, like, yeah, but you gotta buy it from this because there's something in it that nobody or any other company has. See, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why.
No, it's one of those things. So when it comes to cars, most things are not exclusive when it comes to cars. Everything everybody has. I guess the closest thing you can maybe get is maybe if they come up with something new. For example, I think Mazda was the first to have like a rotary engine, or like Fiat has the multi-air engine, but it's not exclusive. But they may have been the first to have it at the time.
Okay.
It's just let's just look at it this way. Mustang was supposed to be the all-American car, but parts aren't all-American. So
Yeah.
so it doesn't
The
matter.
way he said it. Okay.
So when it comes to gaming, it's the same difference though.
Mhm.
Right? So when it comes to that, right? Think about this though, right? So what's exclusive? Is Sonic was exclusive. It had its own console. It was first party to its own thing.
Yep.
And now it's third party, and Sonic is still thriving. It's had its flops, don't get me wrong. So, but again, it's had its good times. So when it comes to that, and Sega has come out with many games that are at one point in time exclusive to one console or another. And then if you think about it, after that has died off, after a certain amount of time, it's coming out to the other places, the other platforms, and it's jumped back up again. So once you limit a certain not limit, once you limit to a certain demographic and you've utilized them as much of it as you can, there's no point in doing anything more other than making the next game. And even then, you get to a certain point where you reach a limit. Right. And that's the thing. That's what Xbox is saying. Xbox is saying, look, we want to reach more gamers, but we're having an issue because we've maxed our cap. We're hitting our cap. Even with Game Pass, they're hitting a cap. They're not getting out there. So what did they do? Right. They viewed PlayStation and Nintendo as not their competitors, as their partners side by side against places like Stadia, Luna, Tencent, right? Stadia found out the hard way because they never got the promises that they made never came to fruition. There was so much that they could have done that they didn't get there.
Mhm.
That's why they failed. They thought it was going to be an easy way in. We got the tech, we got this, but they literally used, we have better tech, we have better teraflops, right? At that time, teraflops was the key word. Than the competitors, but they were also comparing to last gen consoles, not what was coming out currently. So again, they were not in the right mind frame with what they had. They hired the wrong Phil. I've said it before. They've hired the wrong Phil. Okay. And the thing is, Xbox knows it's better to deal with the devil that you know than the devil that you don't know, right? And that's the thing. Windows is what? Worldwide. It's huge. It's their number one product, right? Xbox is their number 3 product when it comes to revenue. Think about that. Are they going away anywhere? No. But they're trying to make Xbox the next Windows, but in the gaming version. So I don't know. Did we forget that Blastroid has a contract for the ABK games? Do we forget that? And Xbox? Do we forget that? What was it? Ubisoft Connect or whatever Play or whatever the name is that Ubisoft has for the ABK day games. What was the other one?
I think it's Ubisoft Plus, something like that.
Yeah. Who was the other one? GeForce Now also has access to those games. So if you have access to Xbox games on those platforms, oh wait, do you have a Samsung TV? You have those access also. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not just console exclusive. Oh, well, that's right, PC. What did PlayStation do? Spider-Man, God of War are on PC years later. But again, they've maximized, right? And we said, hey, you know what? Once you hit that level and you can't sell any more of that game, you put it on to the next platform, which was logical for them to put it on PC. So Xbox is already doing that step. So what's the next step? Finding certain games. And I agree, certain games need to be associated with the platform, because when you think of Sonic, you think of Sega, you think of Dreamcast, you think of Genesis, you think of those platforms. They don't exist anymore. Think about that. They don't exist. But Sega and Sonic are still around, right? We have humble memories of these games that we loved back in those days. Remember playing Resident Evil? For those that don't play Resident Evil continuously, when you go back to the old school Resident Evil on the PlayStation and Sega, what Dreamcast, guess what? Tank controls suck, right? So if tank controls suck that bad, who's playing it? Nobody. That's why the remakes came out. They're trying to get people involved in another demographic that can play Resident Evil, but they can't play the old stuff because they can't handle tank controls, right? We have kids on video where they're trying to play a Game Boy, and they're like, it's not broken. It's broken. It's not working. It's broken because they can't do the touch control, not realizing that there is no touch on Game Boy. They're playing with smartphones. Again, a different demographic. We are the dinosaurs here. We are, we're slowly dying off, and that's the thing, is a lot of us don't realize that they're trying to work with the next generation, and if you don't work into the future where it's headed, just like the whole digital thing, right? Why is it okay for certain companies? I don't know, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, you name it. It was okay back in the day, GameStop, right, to get rid of their big PC box games, right? They went all digital years ago. They're doing it now for consoles. So it was okay back then, but now we're going to fight over this. It's where the trend is going. It's where the market is going. And if you want to keep, the name synonymous, that's what they're trying to do. It's the ecosystem is everywhere. And if the ecosystem is everywhere, I hear you. The ecosystem is everywhere.
Look, they can put their storefront.
Hold on, guys. Let me insert a pause here. Let me catch up with the chat because it's been quite some time, and we have a lot of chat. And I want to address DREADPOOL's Sega comparison here.
Oh boy, the Sega kid
I'll
is
let
about
Terri
to
go
fuck.
first, because boy, do I have some clap back on your Sega comparison here.
The goalpost.
While I was on my thinking chair, I thought about it.
Hey, that's what it's about. It's about different ideas.
Let's see. let's see. Mion Forever says, okay, but companies have to keep their fan base happy. Great hardware and exclusives do that. Yeah. Nixie says, exclusivity doesn't bother me one bit. The controversy is something I can't wrap my head around. Maybe it's because I've been gaming for decades. It's the DNA of gaming, in my honest opinion. It is. It's the market they're in. Yeah. Let's see. Gogo Paul. Shout out to Gogo Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, Deathloop and Tokyo Ghostwire didn't sell at all on PS5, and they were exclusive. And yeah, here we go. Lost Boomer says, Nintendo are only there for Nintendo games. Yeah. And Ice Cream Gaming jumped in. Where is she? She says, shout out to Ice Queen Gaming, the boss mod of this channel. She says, she's the real MVP. She says, I just got back from the hospital seeing a doctor about my mental health. I had a bit of a breakdown. Oh man. I'm glad you're seeking help. That's the most important thing, is to get help. And try to stay strong and get a good support system around you of people who will be there when life is tough for you. Let's see. Nick says, Jamie on forever. Agree. Exclusivity is important in the industry and for branding. Happy Cloud Gamer says, where's the profit hardware or software? Is it hardware or software? This is telling me that the reason we see PlayStation port their first party on PC, it's more successful to port games to Steam.
Yeah.
Let's see. Exclusive price and hardware. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. Let's see. Gogo Paul. Microsoft still has to sell Xbox if they care to keep making them, and for now they still care based on Microsoft meeting last week. Yeah, there's a rumored town hall meeting that happened. I remember that. Again, it's rumored. Leaks. Rumored that they had a town hall saying that they were still gaming. And that's right. Game Pass is not a storefront. It is a service. But
I mean,
we'll get into it
do
here.
you buy games off of it?
You can through the Xbox store,
Which is connected.
But if Xbox
So
goes away,
okay, so that
if it
makes
goes
it
away-
a storefront. If you're able to purchase something from it, that makes it a storefront, and there's nothing stopping them from just combining the two together. So that literally, right now we have the separate Windows Store, which also has Xbox games on it. We have the Xbox Marketplace, right, and we have your Game Pass section. All right, they didn't take the Game Pass games out of the other thing or anything like that. They literally could just make it all one thing and put it on whatever platform they want to put it on. So when you go and you boot up your Game Pass app, you pay your subscription, you get access to the selected games, and then they can just have the open library of all their games from the marketplace that you can purchase. They can just combine that. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. And that's probably what they'll do in the future, is they'll just have one big Xbox branded app where you pay your subscription if you want to have Game Pass, selected games, or you buy whatever game you want to buy and you play it on your TV, or you play it on the cloud, or you play it on your PC or whatever. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen that way. You're going to have your storefront as one single app with Game Pass in there. It's going to happen. Stop acting like you don't have a storefront.
Isn't going to get any third-party apps once you don't exist anymore.
Okay, they'll just combine everything into one app.
Yeah,
I think it's already there. It's just the way you access it.
Yeah, it's
So when it comes to Game Pass, it's more of an advertisement because you get discounts for being through there. Again, so it's it changes up on how you look at it.
It's the way that they have you routed. It's like a website, like when you
Yeah.
go to a website, like you have access to everything
still-
on the page. You just can pick individual pages to kind of simplify where you're finding things.
And you can still buy your games through Steam.
Yeah.
So that completely different store. So it doesn't matter. It's just basically getting you access to those games.
So Nixie says, damn, Dreadpool was spitting facts. Let him finish cooking. Shout out to Jason Max. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, just remember, Xbox is number one. I'm going to let him cook, but I'm going to add a little spice. This bland cooking he's making isn't good enough.
That's a Chiefs talk.
Yeah, I agree with Jamie on. I get deals, but the storefront is Xbox Marketplace, not Game Pass.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dreadpool's background is classic. All right, so let's go back to Sega. You say Sonic. You say you take the biggest one in there. Where's Panzer Dragoon, Dreadpool? Huh?
Okay.
It was good enough to get 3 games on one console, and then Sega bows out. They release a 4th game. It sells like trash, and it's dead. What happened to that? No
Again,
marketing on it
tank
anymore.
controls.
The consumer said it was trash. That's
tank
what happened.
controls. Consumers are no longer into tank controls.
Panzer
They are-
Dragoon did not have tank control.
It's a tank control rail sim.
It's a rail
yeah,
shooter.
rail shooter. Thank you. It's a rail shooter, but it's got tank controls. Nobody's
can be
playing that
fixed.
stuff anymore.
I want to.
Then
I
go back
want
and
to.
play it until they figure out a way to
where's
make a rail
Golden Axe?
shooter a
Yeah,
lot
just
easier
like-
for you got to remember, it's not for you, old timer.
Yeah.
It's for the next generation. That's
Look
the
here,
thing.
older than me,
You,
timer.
you don't see anybody playing the build your own adventure games where you pick multiple choice to see what happens. No one's doing that anymore.
Oh, the multiple choices there. You just don't know about it anymore. They just hide it better.
You
Yeah,
want-
multiple
You
choices
approach
is
a door,
where do
you
I
want to
wanna
open
play
it,
the
turn left or
game?
turn right. No one's
Right.
doing that.
That's
So
your
yay
adventure.
for Sega. Sonic survived. Rip Golden Axe. Rip Crazy Taxi. Rip
Oh,
Jet
Crazy
Set
Taxi's
Radio.
coming back.
Rip
Yeah, they already
Streets of
announced
Rage.
that.
No, I guess Streets of Rage would still did pretty good.
Streets
with
of Rage is coming
4,
back,
made
too.
by fans.
No,
Streets
that's
Rage
all
already
coming
came
back.
back.
Did you forget the announcement that they had? They're coming back. Oh wait, and they're remaking the games with quality of life to today's standards.
Look at
You obviously
Contra.
weren't
Think
there
about that.
for Sega Ages when they remade all the games, and they still went there. You weren't there for. You obviously must have forgotten about Sega Classics, where they remade the games on model consoles, and nobody cared.
Exactly.
They
Nobody
did.
cared.
You
That's
obviously
the
must have
problem.
forgotten about all those times where they already remade those games. So they had a big announcement that we all loved as older people that all these games are being remade. But it's not like Sega hasn't been trying for the last 20
Right.
years to
But
bring these games back.
again, us older people are dying off. They have
Yeah.
to replenish,
I'll
the
take it with my
games
to my
base.
grave.
right? So if they
Where's my
replenish
water? I
the
need to
gamer
start drinking
base, they
healthier.
have to go to where the new gamers that are up and coming are going to go to. So they have to
Mhm.
transfer to there. That's why all these newer games that they're coming back with
Mhm.
are updating their quality of life controls. Okay. So they're going to have better graphics. They're going to have better controls than they ever did. You're looking at, what was that? Golden Axe. It's no longer a side scroller. It's no longer a 2D / 3D, or it was a 2.5D. It was,
2.5D, yeah.
yeah. It's no longer that. It's a full 3D.
Mhm.
So again, they're updating not just the quality of life, they're updating all this other stuff. And I'm sorry, but Panzer Dragoon is just another railer, and nobody likes railers, and they just move on. Nobody's like them.
Yeah, no. I mean, let's not forget. Let's not include Panzer Dragoon Saga, which was hailed as the greatest RPG of its time by many
Look.
sites, even better than Final Fantasy. But hey,
Orta
and-
was good.
I've had to listen to all you
And-
guys going on about how stupid the Star Wars Republic whatever is the best RPG ever made, and I
Oh,
bought
the
it for
old
$5.
Republic.
That game shouldn't even be called an RPG, man. It's just the freaking push A to have everything automated game. That's that's the beginning of the Sims right there. It's like, hey, walk over here, press A, press A, press A. Okay, walk here, press A, press A, press A.
Sims.
That's not
Yeah,
an RPG.
and they talk like the Sims. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean,
Hey, ukulele talk.
who cares if people want to say it's the greatest RPG ever? I feel like it's not an RPG at all. It's not. There's no role playing in that. It's just everything's automated. I'm not doing anything.
All
But
right.
that's back in the
Let's-
days.
Let's finish Dreadpool cooking. Let's let him finish cooking now. All right, continue. Add the spice. Dread.
Where did I leave off?
That you like Panzer Dragoon.
No, you were talking about
Um,
Sega and how they're
yeah.
still
No, but-
around. Sonic's still around,
they're-
even though
they're
it's
still
the-
around
That's the only
because-
thing that's still around from back then.
And they made a
They're
fortune on their
changing-
movies.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
changing the way the game
One
is.
thing has survived the post-console Sega.
But again,
times.
everybody knows who Sonic is, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows who Knuckles is. Oh, wait, did you see that they're making another what is it, a 6-part episode on Knuckles?
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus. Watching it right now.
So
Isn't it Paramount Plus or Netflix? I don't remember. One of the two. Whatever.
one of the two. One of the streaming services. But again, oh wait, streaming services. Oh, again, where it's exclusive, but not necessarily exclusive, because eventually it'll be somewhere else. So again, I mean, look at
All roads lead to Netflix, baby.
what was that? Guy. What's the name of the movie? The
one where he put
Blue
on the
Shirt.
glasses that gave him powers.
Yeah,
and broke the
Ryan
third
Reynolds.
wall.
Yeah, where he was an NPC. It was
Yeah.
on Disney Plus. It was on Netflix. Again, I was like, well, wait a second. Why is it on all these competitors? It was on Hulu. It was, again, same movie, but it was everywhere. So did it hurt it? No, it helped. So again, when it comes to certain things, yes, if the design doesn't work, it might not hit. I mean, you look at Power World. Power World, everybody was relating it to Pokemon.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. I mean, literally, what I played, everybody's like, "Oh, it's just like Ark," and it's like, no, I see it more like Craftopia because it's the predecessor to Power World.
Yeah.
They just added different mechanics to it, So when it comes to all that, if you think about it, why did it succeed? We don't know. It just happened to succeed because of the cutesiness. I don't know what it is, but it's still yeah. But I got the guns, but I couldn't do crap with it. You know what I mean? I couldn't do the crap that I wanted to do yet because I was still so low on it. But the guns were everybody sold it on the guns. You don't play with guns for a while. I was level 15, 17, somewhere around there before I stopped playing. Still didn't have guns.
You're doing it wrong then, because my
little guys had guns.
Yeah, but my husband got guns pretty early in.
Yeah, but again, it's you don't get it. But they advertise like you were like it looked like Fortnite with Pokemon and guns.
Nintendo responded to Power real quick. Let me show you this. All right, let me show you.
It's impossible. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. It's
Power World versus Nintendo. Sorry, I could have helped myself when you said Power World.
Yeah, but that's that's the thing is, as long as a gamer you're not box focused, as a gamer you get what you want. Let them do the thing, even if it's a timed exclusive. Who cares? As long as you get access to your game and you're having fun with it. I mean, all right, here you go. Here's another one, right?
All right, hit me.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. I love Sea of
flop.
Thieves.
It's total flop, right?
What? Sea of Thieves was my go-to multiplayer game for a year and a half.
Exactly.
I was a pirate legend back when you had to work to be a pirate legend.
Right. Yeah, the majority of the people who played that game fell off in less than a month.
when you look at it at the very beginning, it was a flop. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. It's a games as a service, and it grew, right? And it's huge now, right?
Huge.
They've added so much to it over time. If that game was a standalone game, Skull and Bones, it's gonna flop. Sorry, Terry.
I knew that was coming.
This is what happens with every game of service. Is everybody is like doesn't have any content, doesn't have any content. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be gradually.
It's supposed to build up.
We do the same song and dance every time.
Yeah, boy. But you have guys that will speed run these games, and then they're like, "There's nothing left," and it's like, "Well, you just beat a game, or at least this part of the game that they've provided for you that was supposed to take you months because you're supposed to enjoy the time you're there, but you sped run through everything to get in and get out, and then you're complaining that there's nothing there while they're still building the next part of the cycle in, and that's kind of the problem is when people get through it too fast, right? So now you have a group of people that are leaving. What happens? You open it up to other places, right? This is what's going to happen with some of the stuff. But what happens also when you predict something and you force it upon people? PlayStation found out the hard way. Their devs did not want to make games as a service games, right? Microsoft and Xbox found out the hard way, right? They were forcing Rare to make Kinect games. Once they let them free from the Kinect games and make whatever they wanted, they came up with this masterpiece that failed at the beginning and has grown to become a stable moneymaker for them. And you know, and a numbers game too, if you look at it, because they're still saying, look at how many people we still have here. And every year or so, they bring in a huge another piece of content that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, the storytelling in Sea of Thieves is
Sea of Thieves.
incredible.
You got Pirates of the Caribbean. You got Monkey Island. You know what I mean? Now you got the
you originally had the what was it, the Fated Lovers storyline.
right.
That one was amazing. The way they tell the story on Sea of Thieves for a multiplayer action adventure kill everybody game is very unique in comparison to other places. I haven't seen it anywhere else.
But as long as you can
if
get
you
your,
can stay awake long enough to get through it.
yeah,
No,
but as
trust
long as
me.
you can get your game,
So
Some of my
boring.
favorite game playing Sea of Thieves was trying to do the Fated Lovers storyline, and people were like guarding the island I needed to be on, and I needed to kill them to continue the story, and that's just something that doesn't happen anywhere else. And I ended up leading them through a bunch of booby traps, and they died on the booby traps. It was amazing.
but you get those kind of stories like that, you know. But
Yeah.
Had they not opened it up to just PC and if it just stayed on Xbox, would it have lasted longer? I know
Oh,
a lot
man,
more people are playing on PC than they were on Xbox.
The problem with Sea of Thieves as of late has been griefers, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, that's
So
totally different. But again, you have to have a certain demographic, and if you're not going to the next generation where they're at, if you're not meeting them where they're at, you're going to fail, right? That's what happened
Agreed.
with Sega.
Which is why I think they should go mobile, native mobile. I really think that's better and more future proof than going to competitor.
And they will be. But you know,
Bless you,
notice what-
Shaddai. Bless you.
Oh, I thought I put it on silence. Yeah, I swear that I felt the button on my microphone, and I'm like, oh no, it's still on.
but that's the thing, is they're trying to, the Xbox brand is a brand. Wherever you play these games, you're going to see Xbox. You know, so when it comes to that stuff, you're going to see Xbox. The brand is still going to be there, because we still see Sega everywhere. We see Persona. We still see Sega everywhere. We see Sonic. We don't stop thinking about Sega as a brand. It's not hurting the brand.
So if you recall, back in 2001, when Sega announced they were getting out, they made a goal of becoming the biggest third-party publisher in the world in 10 years.
Mhm.
And I remember reading that on EGM when who was it? Was it Bernie? Was it Bernie Stoller who said it? I want to say it was Bernie Stoller. I don't remember. I don't think it was, but I want to say it was.
I got scared. He was going to say Bernie Sanders on the whole.
No, Bernie Stoller.
I got
think
scared.
he said it, and I remember reading it on EGM that he wanted to be the biggest third-party publisher and that they were going to be bigger than ever. Are they close? Or are they the biggest now that ABK is out of the picture? Who's the biggest? You know, and obviously the biggest is
Embracer,
Tencent.
technically. Oh, they're falling apart.
Yeah, they're so big they're failing. But my point is, without that ecosystem, without the platform, because that's what we call these guys. We call them platform holders. Without the platform, you're not as big as you think you are. You know, like Activision Blizzard, would have been got bought for $70 billion. If Xbox was trying to buy, let's say, a platform holder like Nintendo, and Nintendo basically sells on the merits of Nintendo, not on the merits of third party or all that stuff, right? Nintendo would have probably been bought for $300 billion.
See, and that's where Nintendo's the outlier, because Nintendo can do whatever they want. They sold you
That's the only example
cardboard.
I have. You know, PlayStation is a subset of Sony. You know, my Xbox is a subset of Microsoft. I don't really have numbers. I know that Nintendo by itself is worth $40 billion.
Yeah.
And when you buy companies, you buy them between 3 to 6 times what they're worth.
And Nintendo does their own thing. Nintendo does not even try to compete right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants the high def Nintendo Switch and everything, and we're finally
They're like,
getting it.
nah.
But it's gonna be last gen again. So again, they're not trying to compete like Microsoft is and Sony is. But again, Sony, Xbox is not viewing them that the way that as competitors, they're viewing them as companions in the market. Why is Cuphead over there? They let Cuphead go there,
Yeah,
right?
Studio MDHR.
Ori was allowed
Yep.
to go there.
Yep. Moon Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, and it did very well. Did it not? Because
Ori, not so much. Cuphead, maybe. Cardboard did fantastic. Let me catch up with the chat real quick.
Yeah, this cardboard.
Yeah. Xbox games. Stephen Avery says Xbox games on PC really hurt the Xbox brand. Reverse that decision and Xbox will come back strong. Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, Blade, Indiana Jones, and only on Xbox will move units. This is the thing. Once you go forward, you can't go back. And I don't think the Xbox games on PC hurt them, as Xbox games have always been on PC. As I remember playing Fable and Halo, the originals, on PC, because I was a big PC gamer back in the day. And don't think that Xbox was the only one coming to PC. Final Fantasy VII was also on PC, so PC has always enjoyed everybody's games.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can go back. I think right now, if you reverse that decision, you'll hurt the brand more than you'll help. It's kind of make up your mind kind of thing. If you're going to be this, then be this. And that's the kind of where I'm at, is like, okay, we're going to be, this is about exclusive on platforms where Game Pass exists. Then be that. Right? That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Nixie said, Axel, PlayStation is not the competitor anymore. The enemy is not making enough money as they see fit. Yeah, but that is, Apple, Microsoft has always saved the competition for the sake of
competition.
For the sake of having competition, because they know if they monopolize, the government will take them down. Because the government's not afraid to take on Microsoft, right? They may not win, but they're not afraid to at least waste their money on lawyers, right? And so, when Apple was about to go under, Microsoft saved them, right? And if PlayStation was about to go under, or Nintendo was about to go under, I am 100% sure Xbox would save them. That's just the kind of people Microsoft are. They're good people. They're good guys. Come on, guys. They're good. They're good, right?
Yeah,
We're the good guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I call that skulls and bones.
They're our best friends.
Yes. They're our best friends, so the government doesn't come after us. Let's see. Nixie says it was purely high quality cardboard. Yeah, Shaddai. That was 7-ply cardboard right there.
A shiny cardboard.
That was 7-ply corrugated cardboard. Okay. Let's see. RWK88 joins us. Shout out to RWK88. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let's see. High definition MDF particle board. If you know cardboard, you know what he's talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, RWK88. Indiana Jones and the Console of Doom. Wow. Yeah. Let's see. And shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for joining us, Splendiferous. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning. Working on my truck this morning. Hey, get done before the game. The game's about to start soon. Let's see. Yeah. Apple is finally going to crack into the gaming. Writes it for the 50th time. They did buy gaming studios. Just saying. Axel, what Microsoft says is like the weather. It changes and it changes fast. I hear so many people repeat what Phil said 2 years ago. Yeah. And if you notice, Xbox doesn't really give committal answers. They never say the word forever or always or until. They always just say, hey, yeah, this is the route we're going. For how long? Yeah, we don't talk, bunch of fancy corporate speak, change the topic. Like Xbox is very non-committal. I like that background, Dreadpool. Looks like you're beaming in. So yeah, let me see. But Terry, I am in the opinion that Xbox needs lots of exclusives. If it's not already multi-plat, don't and I say this because they bought studios that are already multi-plat. ABK games are all multi-plat. A lot of Bethesda games were multi-plat. And Minecraft, when they bought Minecraft, it was multi-plat. So if it's not multi-plat, don't keep it exclusive. But at the same time, don't bring the new stuff like Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves to other places. That is how I stand, because
Doesn't
Xbox
that contradict yourself though?
in my opinion, it's not what Xbox needs. Well, how's this? What I'm
You
gonna
mean
say?
Axel just
Yeah, he
No, I
just
do not.
contradicted himself.
No, I think Xbox needs all the exclusives they can get, right? And again, I've always said if Game Pass comes to PlayStation or Nintendo, I'm all for it. Whatever. That's what Phil said. All right. So that's what I would like. Hold on one second, guys.
Yeah, he reminds me of the kicker from Buffalo kicking to the right.
Yeah. So the
laces out?
laces out. Yeah. I think Xbox needs lots of exclusives if they want to be relevant in the platform holder space. If all your exclusives are everywhere else, what's the word I'm looking for? The reason to own you is not there. Third party is going to start skipping you, and unless you have a strong first party offering like Nintendo, where they throw out banger after banger after banger,
it's true.
you're not going to survive. You're going to become the next Sega. You're going to become the next Atari.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Nothing to see
Microsoft
here.
folds,
Nothing to see here.
and if Microsoft folds Xbox, they will fold Activision Blizzard with it. They will fold Bethesda with it, and you'll never see all those franchises again. And who knows? Maybe the gaming industry is due for another crash like 1983 to reset and reestablish. Who knows, right? But freaking Jen Bull killing me with your expressions. Yeah. So to me, I think they need lots of exclusives. I think moving your exclusives to the other competitors makes absolutely zero sense to me. But we will find out on Monday. Terry, how does the chat feel?
The chat says 45% Xbox needs lots of exclusives. 31% Xbox needs some exclusives. 18% I'm just here for the popcorn. And 4% says they don't need any exclusives.
And there must have been the other panel members here.
I was just here for the popcorn.
I voted for popcorn. I voted for popcorn.
Yeah, well, some people might just be here to see the Xbox podcasters just crash and burn. I know that's why I watched a lot of podcasts this week, was because a lot of podcasts were very, what's the word I'm looking for? Dramatic is the word I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So I was there for the popcorn because I have my own opinions and stuff. But let's play a game, guys. Let's play.
This is dreadful.
Choice 1, 2, 3, or 4. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Let me put this up here. All right, can everybody read this?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
No. All right, Terry, put on your other set of glasses. All right, listen. Yeah. Oh, Jamie on Forever says, Axel and Turtle Shaddai. Don't forget ColecoVision. Yeah. Nixie says, how does Hi-Fi Rush going to another platform impact the gamer on Xbox? It doesn't. Games are available everywhere, and that's a plus. Revenue is king, not what the gamer wants to see on their game. Okay, let me tell you, if everything goes over to the other consoles, your revenue from your platform is going to go down because nobody's going to buy the platform that's missing out most of the games. Nintendo is surviving. They would be $100 billion company if they had third-party support, even like Xbox does. Nintendo has great indie support, but they don't have great AAA support, right? And so Xbox, however, doesn't have they don't have the must-have bangers, right? That Nintendo has on every single one of their IPs. Some of their IPs have been better. Some of their IPs are on the downtrend. Some of them are new and have come up to lukewarm. And something like Hi-Fi Rush, which knocked it out of the park, should stay Xbox. It needs to be a reason why. Now, I understand Hi-Fi Rush was a shadow drop. There was no marketing for it. There was no hype for it, all that good stuff. That was an internal decision from Xbox, right? But it doesn't impact me that they play other games. It impacts me because I know where this is going. I know that it will be that Xbox will get less games, less third-party support, and it will give consumers less of a reason. is not just about gamers playing Xbox games. It's about the ecosystem surviving. It is bad for the brand, is what I have always stated. If you can't compel people to come and buy your console, are you going to exist? The console already doesn't make any money. It loses money. They make it up on the software side. They make it up on the subscription side. And if less people are on your console, less people are going to subscribe. 50% of Xbox is more than 50% of Xbox Game Pass subscribers are on console. The PC Game Pass is not that big. So everybody says, oh, Game Pass is the platform. Game Pass is the platform. Okay. And the platform, 99%, well, not 99, but let's just pretend it's 70%. The majority of it exists on console. So if you have less reason to buy the console, you have less reason to subscribe to Game Pass, which means you have less reason which gives everybody less reason to, again, buy the console, less reason to buy Game Pass. It is a vicious cycle that is going down, and it's because of branding. It has nothing to do with gamers. That is a non-statement. Oh, how does Hi-Fi Rush going to another platform impact the gamer? Yeah, I can say that about anything. How does God of War going to another platform impact the gamer on PlayStation? It doesn't. It is a non-statement. You can say that about every single game. It is a non-statement. The statement is, what does it do to the brand?
I think it's more about messaging.
What is the message? You don't need to buy an Xbox?
Well, that's the question. What is the message when you have, let's call it some of them fake journalists that are just speaking out their other side and just say whatever they want just to get that attention, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's falling for it. We're all hot taken on what this rumor is. So, and I know we're kind of falling back to where we started, but again, that's part of the thing. The brand is the brand, and if the message and Xbox for some reason keeps on tripping all over themselves when it comes to the messaging with their marketing.
Yeah, I agree.
So when it comes to that, if they say, hey, look, you can only play this on Xbox, wherever you can play Xbox. That opens up the door to say, I can play, if I can go log into Blastroid and play those Xbox games because it's part of Xbox. It's the ecosystem. And they even said the console is not, Xbox is no longer the console. That's why Xbox, what was it? Xbox Live is no longer Xbox Live.
Yep.
Cloud,
Xbox Network.
Yeah. xCloud is no longer xCloud.
It's Game Pass Cloud. Yep.
So again, they're changing it, the narrative with where, Xbox is Xbox. It's universal. That's it. Your access to it is different, but you still have access to it. And those games are there. Again, I agree. Certain games should be more on the exclusive side that you can only play it on the console. It's how many times have we been waiting for WoW to come to console? It's not coming to console, but it looks like there's a roadmap for it to head to console eventually.
Someday. Now that they're part of Xbox.
We have keyboard and mouse. We had Ages of Empires, right?
A year later.
All this stuff is like trickling over. So again, your console is basically a PC. Everything is based on the
version of Windows. Yeah, of course it is.
It's all based on the x86.
Thank you for
platform.
the clarification.
So
thank you for that.
You're welcome, Shaddai.
Look,
Sorry, keep going, Jim.
Consoles are going to disappear. We're not going to have consoles forever.
Right, and the thing is, ARM is where the phones are on, right? What do you think the Surface Pro is?
It's in my hands. Is where
they've been working on going to ARM for a long time. They've been trying to migrate Windows to ARM. They're trying to get off of x86. Again, they're trying to get to other areas, other platforms, even with Windows. So why wouldn't they do that with their gaming service? Just saying, there's a lot of stuff going on, and you got to think, we're looking at it as gamers.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, as gamers, we want it to be where we want to play. And if we want to play on console, that's where we want to play. That's where we want it to be the best that it can be, and only here. I don't want to go to Blastroid. I don't want to go to GeForce Now. I don't want to go to Ubisoft Play. I don't want to go to Steam. You know, I don't want to go to Windows. The Windows version of the games, right? I want to just go strictly to Xbox. And if that's the case, fine. You should be able to go strictly to Xbox. But how many people are like, you know what? I don't like the controller. I want a keyboard and mouse it. You can still play that game, keyboard and mouse. But you can go to Steam. You can go to GeForce Now. You can go to Ubisoft Play. So again, it's you know, you're in the ecosystem, and that's what they care about. They want you. That's why for a while there they gave Windows up for free. Here's your upgrade, free upgrade to Windows 10. Oh, now it's a free upgrade to Windows 11. You're stuck in the ecosystem. You know, Linux is still around. Linux is still going strong. It's not user friendly. You have to know how to navigate and create drivers or find drivers for a lot of things, but it's still there. Oh, look at the Mac. The Mac is still around. The Mac is growing strong still every time.
Yeah, if you got over $3,000.
But you're paying that price.
Yeah.
So again, it's you know, you're trying to figure out what you're doing. You know.
So here's I agree with everything with what you said, Dreadpool. We have to move forward, but I think we have to move forward with the fans, not with the bean counters. So Nixie says Game Pass is stagnant console. Games are not nearly as strong on Xbox console, hence the reason of pivoting. A CFO could care less that a game is exclusive on Xbox. They want that money. That's their job. You know, I sit in meetings with the CFO, and all he cares about is the revenue and the money, and that's his job, is to report the facts of where the money is, where the money is not.
And the money is in multiplayer.
You know, and a CFO's job is not to say pivot this way, pivot that way. He gives the facts, and then people make decisions, and they ask the CFO if they can afford that decision. You know, and he does the math, and he says yes or no, or you know, that will be a 10-year repayment, whatever it is, right? So the CFO's job is not to speak for the fans. His job is to speak for the money, right? But it is our job to speak for our department. So someone somewhere needs to be speaking for the Xbox gamer at Xbox, and I believe they are. Hence why this stuff might have leaked out, because they wanted the higher ups to read the fans, to hear the fans, to see what they were saying, that it wasn't just them being ridiculous and not seeing the money, right? That's another rumor that's going around. Maybe it was leaked out on purpose, whatever, right? So, you know, a CFO could care less. He should care less. You know, I care less about what a CFO says. I care about the brand as a consumer, because I like this brand. I like how consumer friendly this brand is. Okay, and that's not me laying it on thick. I have all of them, and I can tell you right now, Xbox is the most consumer friendly gaming brand in the world.
Question for you, Axel. Question for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Does our money goes to the investors when we buy something?
Of course it does. If the company grows, the investors make money, and hence they become richer.
So that means for us, CFOs should pretty much be quiet, because if we don't give their money, they don't have a say so. They gotta go like, oh boy. So,
you know,
in other words, we have a say so.
Financial markets have always moved on this quarterly profit thing, and I think it's stupid. Yearly profits should overtake quarterly profits, but you know, when you go public, it's all about fast money. That's just the way it is. But I'm not here to give you a business lesson. I'm here to talk about Xbox.
That's why they go month over month.
Yeah.
So
no, it was
year over year, month over month. They do have the different metrics. So
yeah.
But I have a feeling what you said earlier was one of these.
Dreadful in his trolling. Well, what's your trolling one? Put it on yourself, sir.
I'm in it. Oh wait, I'm in it now.
Yeah, so you know, my point is that I feel that if Xbox moves into the multi-plat, you know, route, that they're going to lose brand value, and that brand value will trickle down to the people who are buying it. And it's like, well, do I want the game? Am I going to buy the Xbox for these AAA tent poles, which are going to be like Halo, Gears, Forza, Starfield? I was going to say Sea of Thieves, but not anymore. what else is a big tentpole on Xbox right now that anybody can
Hellblade
think
2?
of? A console mover. Hellblade, thank you. And don't think that Starfield didn't sell. It did. It led to more Game Pass subscribers than any other game has. So, outside of those tentpoles, that's why I'm going to buy an Xbox for 4 games. I'm sorry.
You know what else was a console mover?
What?
Redfall. I'll pass.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's so funny. Everybody's talking about like, oh, okay, I can't wait to get Redfall. I can't wait to get Starfield. I can't wait to play Halo. Nobody's saying I can't wait to play Redfall.
And the funny thing is, look at Redfall is one of them. Sea of Thieves is another. Fallout
Diablo
76 is another.
Mm-hmm.
They are not what they were when they came out at launch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
and I think James Mion, James, I don't know why I keep calling you James. Sorry, Jamion forever says Disney thought the same. Star Wars is on life support, mending Mandalorian. The fans are the brand. Yeah, Star Wars is on a downtrend because they didn't think they needed a gaming department. Look at Bob Iger now. After he shut down LucasArts, Digital Arts, and Disney Digital Entertainment, he's now saying, "Oh, we need games. We need games.
No,
we can't live without games."
The Bob
And that's
before
the whole
Bob
thing.
Iger, the Bob before and after Bob Iger,
Yeah.
basically was taking money from the theme parks and throwing it into the Disney Plus service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it was a failure from the get-go because he was supposed to do all this stuff and he wasn't doing it right. So Bob Iger is trying to fix all that. Kathleen Kennedy is the one that screwed up Star Wars. She, you know what I mean? She hired on and controlled what was going on with
Did you ever see the Kathleen Kennedy South Park episode?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The She-Hulk situation.
And then you had Brian Johnson that really screwed up Star Wars because he wanted to make it his own way. And it's like, no, there's a sequence of events that have to go a certain way that you can't just throw out the window. It's all part of the story. And he just completely changed everything. And then the other guy that had to come back and fix it all to try to clean it up. But again, it's you look at Gina Carano. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
How she's suing for her role.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Because of what was allowed for one person, but it wasn't allowed for her. The whole double standards. And this is the thing that's going on. And what did you say earlier? You should be Xbox needs to be going where the fans are, right? They need to cater to their fans. Well, the upcoming fans.
The fans are on mobile, is what I'm saying, not on PlayStation.
These guys are mobile.
That is the biggest iPhone I've ever seen.
Hey, there's a Nintendo guy right there. Little red shirt.
Oh. All right, so let's play a little game here I like to call How Exclusive is Exclusive. All right, so we have 3 stages here for Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, Activision, and Xbox Mobile. And while I get a poll ready, Terry, could you read these out for us?
Xbox Studios. Number 1. All AAA games not multiplayer are Xbox PC exclusive. 2. All AAA multiplayer games will be multi-plat. 3. AA games will be multi-platform.
So that is the exclusivity that has been proposed that Xbox is going to do in the future. They think now that there's not anything, there's just a rumor and just talking on the internet that this is what will be announced. So would you be okay with this announcement? Keep going, Terry.
Okay, Bethesda. All AAA games that are not multiplayer will be Xbox PC exclusive. All AAA multiplayer games will be multi-platform. AA games will be multi-platform. And mobile games will have a Game Pass perks.
All
Activision. Right. WoW subscriptions will become part of Game Pass?
Yeah.
See, that's why I don't trust this. I don't trust it.
Misspelling already.
We got
Someone did not grammar check. They weren't using AI.
I got my psychosis here going. Believe this.
All AAA multiplayer games will be multi-platform. all Activision Blizzard library will come to Game Pass. Doubtful. Mobile games will have Game Pass perks. And then Xbox Mobile for the future. And only has the one, or is it a scroll?
All AAA multiplayer games by Xbox will get native releases on mobile, iOS, and cloud. I think that's the one they should be doing. But hey, what do I know? I just saw it happen in Mexico.
And that's
whatever.
the funny part is those two platforms are completely different from x86.
They are. They would need ports. All right, so let's go down the list. Terry, this is the quote unquote middle ground that some people have proposed. Would you be okay with this middle ground?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. But I do want to just comment for the Activision one, saying that all Activision games will be coming to game. No, it's not possible. Activision has literally made games with licensing that they would not be able to get. For example, my Star Wars games. Okay, they would have to renew the licensing with Star Trek. They would have to renew the licensing with some of the Star Trek games Activision made to be able to do that, and they're not going to do that. So no, that's not possible. So whoever wrote that's a nincompoop.
What if it's all future Activision Blizzard library?
It doesn't say that. It says all Activision Blizzard library. So the entire library that is there as of now would do that, and that's not possible.
Potato, Terry.
Look, there's too many of the older games that have special licensing for big franchises that they're not going to be able to get the licensing for because other competitors have the current licensing. So whoever wrote that's an idiot. Okay, so no.
Speaking of whoever wrote this, all right, so I got this from a guy at Shadow XPR. Never heard of him, right? That he just posted it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna read it, see where it goes. I don't follow him, but there he is on Twitter at Shadow XPR. No spaces.
So some nobody. I don't
know him. I don't know him. He might be somebody, but he's not he doesn't exist in my world.
He can't write.
Well, it says here. Let me read it. Hold on.
Is that the name of the AI?
Shadow XPR.
Yeah.
Is his name. Okay. Let's see. Engineering George Santana. So he went to school for math, not for spelling. Okay.
Well, obviously he doesn't know mathematics very well.
Okay, so Terry's okay with this plan.
The concept of, he basically just repeated himself, and all he had to say were single player games. He could have just simplified it. Single player games will be exclusive. Non-single player games will be multi-plat. So that's literally what he said. He just made it lengthy for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So things like Halo campaign will stay on Xbox, but Halo multiplayer will go to PlayStation and Switch.
Technically, it's free to play. So
yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
And hence why multiplayer like Sea of Thieves might be going there. So yeah, all right. Dreadpool, let's move over to you. Would you be okay with this strategery?
My issue with it is the word all.
Yes.
All. And like,
right, where's your goalpost moving meme right now? You need it right now for yourself.
For myself?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't hard fast and lock it down to say all. I can understand most. Most would be fine. All right. So when it comes to that, none of this for me, maybe for you. But here's the thing, right? When you lock it down to all, right? Now any choice that you say, right? Axel, in your business, right? You have the say so in your position, right?
In my position?
Yes.
I have a very heavy input in my position. Yeah.
Correct.
But I don't have the final say so.
You don't have the final say so, but you have very heavy input. Yes. Now, what happens when you get replaced?
Well, then whoever replaces me better have as good, if not better, communication skills as me.
Correct. However, that person doesn't think like you do. That person has different ideas. So his heavy communication will differ, which will alter the outcome. Right. So whoever's in charge that takes that information and runs with it will also change on the information because they're basing it on different information, different outlooks.
Mhm.
So now when that happens, you just said all. You took a hard stance and said all. No, things will always change, and that's the problem. People forget when you say it like that. It's a hard in stone writing. We're
It's
not
a
doing
hard
that.
R right there.
Yeah, you can't
Hard
do
A.
that.
It's a hard A.
You know, and
So
that's
what if it said most?
and I would most is what I would agree with.
I would still
Most.
find most to be
And
a
most-
stretch, though.
Most can also be misinterpreted also, and that's why I always say whenever you listen to people talking, take the information, and a lot of times when we speak on something that we do know,
Mhm.
right, it's based on the facts that we know. But then guess what, down the line we find out something else, and then we have to change our opinion based on that information we get. All right, so I'm not an avowed fan, right? Guess what? The last couple of videos that they showed, I became an avowed fan. I want to play it and try it out. Before I
on
had no
PlayStation, bro.
interest. Same thing with Starfield. At the very beginning, I couldn't care less. I was happy for my friends that were excited for it, but I couldn't care less. Then one of the last videos that I saw was like, okay, now I'm interested. Now it's got me. The whole I can steal everybody's sandwiches and throw it into a room. It doesn't do anything for me. It's cool that you can do that, but it doesn't move the needle for me. They did something that finally moved the needle for me, and I enjoyed playing what I played. That's the thing. You can't lock people in like that, because now they will hold you to it, with pitchforks and fire.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. You can say this is the plan, but it always doesn't go that way. That's why, you could say most of our stuff, and that's why I like what they said before, on a case-by-case basis, this is what's going on. When they bought ABK, they said, okay, well, on a case-by-case basis, but anything that, and to appease Lena Con artist, right? They said anything that was ABK multiplat will stay multiplat. They're not going to take it away from platforms that these games are already on. So if those games are there, cool. Bethesda, whatever's first person, whatever single player we're keeping, but it's on a case by case basis, right? And that's where it needs to stay, because I'm sorry, if I find out that a game is that banger and is doing that good, I might just keep it on my platform to bring people in as an exclusive. But at the same time, if the game has outlived its usefulness and it's just sitting there wasting away, but it has good hype like Hi-Fi Rush, it makes sense to put out there. Same thing with Sea of Thieves, or I wouldn't want Halo per se for the multiplayer, but there should be a discussion there. How beneficial would it be to bring it there? And they have an analysis that are sitting there looking at all this all the time. They're not hard fast and saying Halo will never go anywhere. They always look at it as, what is the possibility? What are the metrics? What would it be? What could it be? Is it even worth it? They're always doing that. And that's the problem is we're so hard fast. They said this, it is never going to happen. Guess what? Spider-Man's on PC. Never going to happen. God of War on PC. Never going to happen. Right? These games are never going to go. Ori is Xbox. It's never going anywhere. Oh, it's on Nintendo. Cuphead. That's an Xbox thing. It's not going anywhere. No, Xbox let MDR?
MDHR.
MDHR, yeah. They let them go to Nintendo. So again, they didn't have to. They money hatted that. They didn't have to do that. But again, they made the choice of, what's best for the game, because if it goes over there, we might see some more movement over here. What other game?
You might see some more movement over here. I doubt it.
No, but again, if they have interest in there, look at the tech, right? Physics. What's the other one? There's a whole bunch of tech that everybody uses in games. They're making money off of that, even though those games are being made for PlayStation, even though those games are being made for PC, Nintendo, any other platform, Unity. Unity uses certain, not Unity itself, but certain game devs will use certain engines and coincide with Unity to make their
Yeah.
game. So again, Windows is making money when it comes to that, or Microsoft actually.
Right.
So
Hey guys, chat. I've tried to reload. The reason I left was trying to reload my chat window. It is not going to let me pull chats up onto the show anymore. I will still read your chats as I have my YouTube window up, but just letting you know that my chat on this software that I'm using has frozen.
can you give us power to do that?
Don't think so.
Oh,
Don't think so.
cool. Whatever. Hold on.
I've never tried, but
Yep.
Whatever.
I was about to say that. Moving goalposts.
Sorry. All right. So
Control
all right.
freak.
So
Okay.
Dreadpool, do you think this is good for the brand, or no? It's too extreme for the brand,
It's
or you
Too extreme.
too extreme? Okay.
It's too extreme because I think the fanboys will run with it and hold you to it. So then you get the crybabies that will cry if it doesn't hold up to this, and then you get the other side of the toxicness that will brag and laugh at everybody else because this is what we have and you don't have it. So again, I think the extremists on both sides will run with this and turn it into another one of those
Mhm.
skies falling paranoia,
Mhm.
one way or the other.
And I'll tell you what, the sky has been falling this week for a lot of people.
Yep.
A lot of people. And it's because the Xbox they knew is gone. They believe it's gone based on what they know from who they hear from their sources, right? So yeah.
I'm sorry, we're not in the Peter Moore Xbox era. Sorry. We're in the Phil Spencer Xbox era. And on top of that, Phil is sitting at the table with Satya. He's no longer down below Donnie D and all them. So if you want an Xbox and you want to play offline, get a 360. We have
Get
a
a
console
360,
for you.
baby. Greatest Xbox console ever, probably.
We're in a
Back when
different
exclusives mattered. Look what happened. Good exclusives, not just the exclusives, but good exclusive, well-funded exclusives. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can catch up on some of these. I can see the issue right now. Always devs will make up multiplayer boom. That was from Jamie on Forever. The game complainers is laughing here. Oh,
Will that work?
it can work.
Or yet?
I don't know. I'm trying to catch up myself. So hold on. I scroll up to the last one and I just kind of look down to see.
All right. Well,
Jim Mount Forever says we're not in the Bomber era. We're in the Nadella era, where longtime fans means jack all, and that's the problem. That's the very last chat. Yeah, that's the very last chat from Jamie on. So yeah, there you go at the very bottom. Yeah, but yeah, well, they're just gonna have to except that I can't put it up. That's all. All right. So Shaddai, where do you sit on this Xbox Game Studio proposed middle ground from Shadow XPR?
Okay, the AI. I got you. I'm gonna decipher it.
All right, decipher.
Yes.
Break it down for us.
First, yes, I agree with whatever he posted there. I don't care about the wording. It should be most. It should be all. It gotta be all. Because why I say all? Nintendo have success. PlayStation have success. You could ask anybody which system you have, Nintendo, PlayStation, and they will always say due to the exclusivity. They always get the exclusivity. Why not Xbox? It shouldn't be any different. It should be all. It should be all for single player. Multiplayer can go anywhere. That's why it's called multiplayer, multi-gamers. It could go multi-systems. I always will say, and I will repeat this again, Xbox PC is the same thing. It's something that I told Axel. I could go to Wikipedia. It will give you all the brands that they have. It could be on the Surface Pro or whatever. It's still considered exclusive due to pretty much made by Microsoft. It's still considered exclusive. The mobile thing is, I'm not gonna touch it because I'm not much of a mobile person, but that's the reason why Microsoft spent that money. They want the players, they want the gamers, they want the customers to buy your product. That's the person. That's the purpose of it. It shouldn't be any different. I actually do agree for what they said. I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Multiplayer is for it could put it in multi platforms. Single player, it could be on this single system. So I do agree. Now the AA, that I think that's the only thing that I will say. Keep it multi-plat because I'll use this one. Look at Record. It's a AA. So games like that, just keep it multi-platform. Just keep it like that. Some are pretty good. I'll give them that. I'll give them that. But the AAAs, keep it exclusive. Multiplayer modes. Keep multi-platform. They want. Remember, they said, we want to have a lot of money. Where is the money located? In the multi games, into the battle passes, into the skins. We already know that. We already talked about it for the Fortnites, for the Warzone. That's the moneymaker. That's self-explanatory. So I believe whatever this person or AI, whatever it is, I agree. All of them should be on the Xbox. It should be. No problem with the PlayStation doing that. No problem with the Nintendo. Xbox shouldn't be any different. That's my stance on it.
All right. I disagree with all of this, with the exception of point number 4.
Of course, you're a mobile person.
Well, you want to go where the gamers are. The gamers are on mobile. I'm sorry, they're not on play. Like the console market is maybe 700,000 max worldwide. That's how big that pie is. 700,000.
But I'm not saying they shouldn't be anything on the mobile. But you're covering all fronts though.
Yeah. So it makes no sense to me that they would go to PlayStation when there's more than 700,000 to be captured on mobile, on Android, on iOS, all those places. So it just, for a return on an investment, which a lot of people keep saying, oh, it's a business. Okay, as a business, I want the biggest return on investment. It's not going to happen on PlayStation, and it's not going to happen on Nintendo. It sure as hell isn't going to happen on Nintendo. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee it. So I don't agree with this. I think Xbox needs its own exclusive multiplayer games. I think Xbox, games as a service games. I think Xbox needs its own exclusive AA games. Some games, I'm just not. Again, it just, to me, moving your games over that used to be exclusives, not that, or that are currently exclusive, to the other brands devalues your brand. And consumers, say what you will. It's already hard at stores to find, hey, give me this multi-plat game. Oh, for PlayStation? No, for Xbox. You'd be better playing it on PlayStation. It's already hard enough for that to happen. And then you're going to do this. And now they're going to be like, all these games are going to come to PlayStation anyway. Those people keep up. The front lines keep up. And so to me, it just makes no sense. This whole strategy moving games over to the competition just makes zero sense to me. What makes sense to me is Xbox Mobile Future. I think that's where the money is. I think that's where the future is, and I think that's where they should expand their ecosystem to. You know, especially on Android. There's nothing on Android keeping them from doing native installs from the Game Pass app or the Xbox app. There's nothing stopping them. So there is this whole strategy. Just I'm going to hold very bullish. I think this whole move is bad for the brand, and that whole argument like, oh, why? What do you have against more players playing more games? I don't, but I care about your brand. And whether I should stand for this brand or not is I guess my own personal problem, but I do, because it is my main brand that I like to game on. I like the controller. I couldn't envision playing Halo using symmetrical thumbsticks. That would drive me nuts. Just it would drive me crazy. So it just, I'm not okay with this. It's way too extreme. I don't like it at all. I don't like this whole move at all. So, but that is how we feel. Terry, how does the chat feel?
Okay. Would you be okay with this Xbox future? 41%, yes, it's good for the brand. 33%, no, it's too extreme. And 25%, I'm here for it. Eat the popcorn.
All right. So
Eating all the popcorn.
Getting all the popcorn. All right, so let's finish out the game with talking about what you would be okay with. Kind of a little fun. This is not leaks. This is just a fun prediction of how you would feel, or how you feel Mondays or next week. Not everybody's saying it's Monday, but it's not. Probably not. It's probably going to be like Friday, right before they go home, so they don't have to deal with the fallout. Kind of like when you fire someone, fire them on a Friday kind of thing. Let's see what you think the announcement is going to be. What do you think Phil Spencer comes on stage and is going to say, Terry?
When?
No, what do you think he's going to say?
Oh, what? Okay, what do I think?
What is Terry's version of the announcement? How is the sky going to fall? According to Terry. That's right. The sky is falling. Terry, take it away. How's the sky falling?
I feel like he's going to come on and he's probably going to talk about how those games that are currently exclusive will continue to stay exclusive is probably what he will say. And he'll probably keep it open-ended on future games may, not be exclusive. That's probably all it's going to be. It's going to be the same thing. Like we got select games that are going to be exclusive and select games that won't be. Live with it. That's probably what it'll be.
All right. Okay. So everything that is currently exclusive will stay exclusive. What about Halo? Well, what is this? Halo 7. What about Halo 7? Is that going to be exclusive?
It'll stay. Like I said, the stuff that's already exclusive will probably stay exclusive. They'll keep it open-ended for if Bethesda makes a game that's a new IP, they might leave it open-ended, to where they'll consider multi-plat, but they'll probably make it exclusive too if it's single player. Who knows though?
And of course, Phil
I feel
Spencer's
like
not going to give timelines just because he says
I feel like they'll keep it open-ended because they don't know how the gaming environment's going to change. Mm-hmm. So they're going to keep it open-ended.
All right. Well, there you go. That's Terry's prediction. Jamie on Forever says Xbox Studios need to stay all Xbox. ABK AAA single player stay exclusive for at least 2 years. If it's fair for Sony to demand third party to do that. Okay. The multiplayers go case by case. Bethesda same as ABK. That is the most. Okay. Happy Cloud Gamer says if Xbox is going full third party development, trust me, PlayStation will do the same. They don't think about fanboys. It's about profit. Profit is key, and Microsoft will swim even in more green. Well, okay. Let's see. I'll concede. Jamie on Forever says, I'll conceded, and there needs to be a hard lock-in pause. I have no idea what you mean by that, my friend. Shout out to the Graphic God who joins us. Thank you so much for joining us, Graphic God. You are the real MVP. Let me see. Graphic God says, do we care about games or platforms? I care about where I play my games because I frankly think the PlayStation controller is the worst controller I've ever held in my life. So, and I've held them all.
And you don't need an Xbox to enjoy an Xbox controller.
No,
Exactly.
no, sure don't.
Oh, and
But-
Nintendo, other than the buttons, are just set up like an Xbox controller.
Except reversed. Their X is in the wrong spot. I always
Well, that's
jack
what
it
I'm saying,
up.
except for the buttons.
Yeah.
They're backwards. That's what throws me off when I switch over to Nintendo. I'm like, ah,
Press X. I
backing
did.
out of this.
No, you pressed Y. What?
Actually, Xbox is backwards because the Nintendo always had that
Yep.
layout.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that layout has always been weird.
always
So
been weird,
Xbox
yeah.
is technically backwards.
Why
because
is
they
B
used to-
before A?
That's right. That weird reading from the right to left is weird.
Well, they haven't seen what, the Super Nintendo?
Yeah. Anyways, okay. Shaddai, what is your prediction for Phil Spencer comes on stage with Satya? Satya's staring him down, making sure he doesn't say anything wrong. What is he gonna say?
I could see that. What do you think of exclusivity? And Satya will look at him like, I don't like exclusivity. He's gonna get all freaked out. I
All
don't.
right. So
No, he'll probably say, I care less. You know what? The exclusives are gonna stay exclusive. Multiplayer is gonna be all over the place. Simple as that. Even if Satya is gonna start stomping and all that. So the same thing that I said earlier. It should be like that. Exclusive. Multiplayer will go multi-plat.
okay.
It's just like that PR. Just let's let the people start thinking and have their own theory. I'd rather feel like he did on Kind of Funny Games that we never with the Redfall situation. He actually went kind of
Rogue.
he went
He went totally rogue on that interview. It was awesome.
No, that's the best. Actually, that's the best field that we ever seen. And forget PR. Just be straightforward and like, well, this is what's gonna happen, and I just hope he could break all barriers of communication because they always have problem with communication. Just be straight to the point. This is what's gonna happen, and that's it.
All right. So your thing is multiplayer is going to both go multi-plat.
It
So Halo is going on the PlayStation.
we're talking about multiplayer, not the campaign.
Yeah.
And like DREADPOOL said, well, we do have the campaign and the multiplayer is on PC.
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole
That's the money. That's the money.
All of Halo's on PC, but yeah.
But but you already said it. Windows and Xbox is the same, so stop moving goalposts.
I'm not moving goalposts, man.
Yes.
I'm not moving goalposts.
I see DREADPOOL pressing that button.
Yeah, there it is. I feel like you said it just so he would do it.
No, but I saw him. He was like, "Let me pray." See.
All right, DREADPOOL. How is Phil Spencer going to move the goalposts?
This is how he's going to do. He's going to get a red shirt. No. Basically, he's going to let you know nothing is perpetuity. So, like he said it before, we can't hold anything in perpetuity, and things will change, and everything will be a case-by-case basis. But they're going to focus on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Little do you know that Xbox is everywhere. So it's the platform is Xbox, no longer the console. That's it. So he's going to give us corporate speak. He's not going to give us fanboy speak.
Yeah.
So,
He's gonna say everything that Grandpappy Axel's gonna hate.
Yeah,
literally.
Next week's episode,
I
you're
hate
gonna see
that too.
Axel just
He's going to
be
mind.
sad and angry at the same time.
Yeah, he's going to mind his P's and Q's to not lock him down into all one way or the other. No, he's gonna be honest about how they want us to perceive what they're doing. Right. So that's his honesty, is how he's going to be corporate speaking to get us back on the rah Xbox side, hopefully, and kind of go from there and just, be a little candid, but at the same time, he's not going to hold fast one way or the other, because we all know things are going to change. Things in life change. What if the game doesn't do so well, but they have a feeling that this game could still do good? They'll move it wherever they need to. You know, if they feel that this game will be more beneficial to Xbox to keep it exclusive, that's what they're going to do. You know, I don't think they're going to do much more than that.
Yeah, but don't force it.
he's basically not
It seems to
gonna
me
say
like you're
anything,
trying
is
to
what you're
force to
saying.
where we don't know.
But that's the thing, is they don't know. You know, it's like, what are you going to eat tomorrow? Okay, well, this is what I'm going to eat tomorrow. What are you going to eat next year? On this day, at this hour, what are you going to be eating? Do you know?
Food.
Okay, what kind of food? Okay,
know,
so there you go. You just said
I will
games.
know. Every single time that I go to the supermarket is the same thing. So we're eating the same thing for the
Yeah, I was
past
gonna
41
say, I
At
have,
that,
like, my
specific
staples.
minute, do you know what you're going to be eating at that specific minute? How do you know that you don't end up going meeting somebody and going to a birthday party, and
Oh, hell
then
no,
you know
I'm
they
not going to no
serve
birthday
something
parties.
that's not cake?
Mm.
You don't know. You don't know what you're. You know, what if we all meet up in a year from now, and we're GMX live in person out of Axel's house, and we're all sitting on that train track and behind him. You know,
That's
we
right.
don't know.
We're playing trains.
And his wife could be bringing in one of her native dishes that we all love, and we'll be like scarfing it down. We
That'd be
don't
awesome.
know. That's the thing. I mean, I could be dead next year. Who knows?
You better not be.
Well, I better not be either. No, I'm not predicting. Oh well, you know, there you go. That's a prediction, right? That's you know, Phil told me so.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out to JB Zombie 89. He says, "We are really the dinosaurs." Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Graphic God says, "When it comes to video cards, do you moan and cry when your AMD doesn't have a feature an NVIDIA card has, or do you just buy the card?"
That's
And remember,
similar
you
to-
pay more for video cards than consoles.
That's similar
Yeah.
to the question that I said Terry about the card thing situation.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's talking about video cards.
It's talking about video cards and
I'm talking
PCs.
about the example. Well, okay. Okay.
I get where you're going. It's just cars are not a really good example because they don't really have anything exclusive.
Yeah. So again, I think my best case scenario. So I have two best case scenarios. Let's go over scenario one. Phil comes on and he said, "You are all lied to. I don't know where these rumors came from. We're going mobile." That'd be great.
Ugh.
That'd be great. Game Pass is going mobile. We're opening the Game Pass store where you can download these games starting today natively and play natively mobile. Great. As long as you're a Game Pass subscriber.
I see where this is coming
Awesome. Right? The other one is, hey, you know, we worked out a deal with Jim retiring Ryan as his going away gift to us. He let us put Game Pass on PlayStation, where you can now download these select games immediately. You know, Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves natively right now on PlayStation today, whatever, right? And we worked out a deal with Bowser from Nintendo, and you can do the same. That would be great for me. That would be the happiness for me. Of course, do I think it's going to happen? I'm leaning more towards no, as nothing like that has been leaked. That's just my hopes and dreams. But the sky is going to fall, and in the sky falling, Phil Spencer's just going to basically, long story short, whichever way he says it, he's going to kill the Xbox console, one way or another. And basically say, hey, but you know, consoles are still important. You can still play, you can still buy them, even though you're not going to get as many games as the other consoles. But you can buy them. Here you go. Have fun, everybody. And that will be that. And you know, the way he kills the console is by basically getting rid of the reason to own a console. Right. And the reason to own a console has traditionally been exclusives. And so that's the reason to own a console, and he's going to get rid of that reason. So that's where I'm standing, is that's the way the sky is going to fall. Whether it be some exclusive or all exclusives, or this exclusive from this studio or that exclusive from that studio, or, you know, timed exclusives, whatever. The point is, if I get even if it's a 2-year exclusivity or 3-year exclusivity, eventually it's going to come to the other console. And again, it gives me less reason to own the current console, and that's how the console dies. Which, as I said, I've been here when I was here when Atari died. I was here when Sega died. I was here when Stadia died, and I'm still gaming. So no matter what, I'm going to keep gaming. It's just I have to change the way I'm gaming. I can't I can't die with the console. I'm not going to. So, but I will be very sad, just like I'm very sad that Sega died. That was my console back in the day.
He wants to savor his VCR forever.
Yeah, I saved those VHSs until they were no longer readable by any media.
Because that's what these younger kids eventually they're going to see these consoles. It's the same concept. It's ancient tech.
Oh my god! I tried to play Smash Brothers on the N64 with my nephews. They said they couldn't even see. It was so blurry. It was funny. But all right, guys. So that's the way the sky is going to fall, according to Good Morning Xbox, our panel members. How the sky falls on Monday, if it falls at all, we will see next week. And I keep saying on Monday, but it's not on Monday. I'm fairly sure it's not on Monday. Probably announced on Monday that, hey, we're announcing that we're going to talk on Friday. And then, but how the sky doesn't fall for me is, of course, Phil sticks to his word that, where on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Look,
So
I choose to believe the sky isn't falling. The clouds are just parting, and we have to be optimistic for the ecosystem.
So you want me to get skin cancer from this, Terry?
No, it's bright skies ahead.
Bright skies.
You're over here with all this gloom and doom. Bright skies ahead.
This is Axel.
All right. Any closing thoughts, anybody? I know we only talked about one topic, but it was a big topic, and it's really been the only topic that matters all week long, other than Skull and Bones crash and burning. But yeah, we weren't going to talk about that. Any closing thoughts from anybody?
No.
All right. With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy the big games. If you're spending it with family and friends, have a good time. Eat those wings. Eat that pizza, whatever it is you're going to. Shout out to 4GQ TV who jumps in at the last second here. He says it's not up to Phil. It's up to Satya and the board, whatever happens. Yeah. So we'll see whatever happens. And shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are all the real MVP. We wouldn't be able to have this show without you guys. That's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. And with that being said, we're going to get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
I'm coolcatterri.
I'm Dreadpool.
And I'm Eternal Shaddai.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.